a tabletop game. And one of the episodes was this recap of seasons 1 and 2, that was done from the perspective of the one character that was unconscious from the last fight. So it was utter stream of conscious nonsense and memes of their own game, of things like when they didn't have control of their pog, they just were like, they took my legs.
Oh.
And stuff like that. And yes, I'm going to call tokens pogs.
So the background music you're hearing is provided by Sirenscape, a powerful and useful tool.
You.
Also we're live.
Hello, everyone. Yes,
Semi-powerful.
I know we're live. That's why I kept it going. By the way, do try and watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Carbon Interface. Stabbiness is a great channel, as well as his, more edited gaming channel, Third Wheel. And their main game, Thrilling Intent, is fantastic stuff. It's almost like a drama. It's
all right.
But Stabbiness is where he has his unedited streams.
Oh, cool. That's kind of like our streams.
Yeah. It's
so guess who managed to get his hands on a copy of the new version of Blue Rose?
Ooh, is it me? I believe it's me.
Well, yeah, I assume y'all probably managed to get, the demo copy, too. Or
Is it the entire internet because information wants to be free and piracy is inherently moral?
Someone's been playing Shadowrun lately.
Yeah, well,
So, as a note,
speaking of Shadowrun,
piracy is not good. Do not pirate.
Speaking
here
piracy
at
is
the bonus
often illegal.
We here at the bonus roll do not.
It's unethical.
We here at the bonus roll do not condone piracy. We do,
Especially if you're
hilarious.
trying to reach out to us for some sort of advertising or some sort of deal. No, we will not tell people to pirate your hard work.
Yeah, my decaffeinated ramblings are not the position of this show.
I don't think the show has any position other than, bent over backwards screaming.
Yes, this show's position is under a pan out for donations. That's the official position.
Oh, guys, the patron is going to be going live at the end of the month.
Ooh.
Cool.
That means people will get access to our solo adventure stuff.
Yep.
And
Session zeros.
They can find out Grigham's bar hopping and the Simic rabbit hunt, and Ingrid technically getting locked up in an insane asylum, as well as Opal stuff being available again.
I need to find where that video ended up. I mean, I may have to have Cookie log on and just walk around Ravnica and not make fun of a knight again.
No, you didn't lose it, did you? No.
I don't think I did. I need to go through my files. I have a lot of files. We've been doing this for over almost a year, wife.
So many files.
I cannot believe she didn't do her mission still. I'm
Yeah, you're not the only one who spent a couple hours writing things and then I'm going to go to the park. It's See, I have chosen poorly. But no, that was fun. I had a good time, just kind of walking.
So what you're saying
around.
is that she does this like I do Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Find your father. Yeah, that can wait.
Oh, Amy, haven't seen you in chat in a while. It's good to have you back.
Hi.
Hey!
I invited her. She could make it this time. Yay!
Oh, Equilibrium, thank you for throwing out the social stuff for us. I appreciate that. Speaking of the social stuff, if you're staying in an area where there is currently a COVID outbreak, please participate in the social distancing to help flatten the curve. If it helps, most of our games are past episodes are up on YouTube, where you can watch them for free and get caught up on the insanity that is this. It should probably take somewhere in the neighborhood of 2 weeks.
even got all the links to the episodes that are uploaded on the wiki, just not their summaries and character additions yet. I am 20% more caught up.
Hooray!
Ooh.
She's been rewatching episodes and rewatching episodes. Oh, hi Meryl. I see you in the chat. I see you got that little
my
crown.
chat thing. Oh yeah, Twitch Prime.
Yep. All right, where was I? I was doing something super serious.
COVID.
Right. Watch. I got someone to laugh. I did not expect that. Just stay safe. Stay smart. Don't panic buy. Why do you need 8 things of toilet paper? No
Well,
one needs that much toilet
That's
paper.
my own business.
Well, I mean, like,
It is in general a good idea to keep a reasonable supply of toilet paper and such on hand. That said, now is not the time to stockpile everything.
Just
I
roleplay
think
with
it's less-
something other than a mummy for like a month.
Ah,
like, I think a part of it is the fact that some of the symptoms are fever, like, which does tend to be kind of put you in the bathroom for a bit every so often. Like,
well,
See,
more
I'm-
often than usual, at least. It's
see,
see,
the
I'm-
real lesson is everyone should have a bidet.
See, I'm waiting for like some YouTuber or live streamer or something like that to come up and just do their stream in a mummy costume in the most offensive way possible.
Morg's still around.
Am I back? It's like, am I back?
Yeah, I hear. I see you.
Okay, because
I
everyone
hear
kind of
and
just was
see
like,
you.
"Oh," and then black screens all
All
around.
to sound
Weird.
This weather.
I think he failed that wisdom check. When you were doing the
Alright.
zombie stuff earlier.
See,
I
that's
am getting some video lag though today. I wouldn't be
That
surprised.
sounds- That sounds like the little dream servant things in Bloodborne.
I know.
I have to go let the kitty I trapped out real quick.
Wait, which one is it?
Aw.
Spitfire, she was hiding in the closet thinking I would get her treats when I couldn't see her in the closet.
Guest star. Guest star. Guest
Speaking-
star. Guest
No,
star.
I'm just gonna let her
Guest
out.
star. Guest star.
No.
Guest star. Really, guys? No one
I
support me
mean,
on that.
I would like a guest star kitty. I would very much like a guest star kitty.
I'm not complaining. It's like, not
But I
opposing it.
would like to say,
Mhm.
I had the pleasure last night of being at the Shabby Tabby in Huntington, which is an adorable cat cafe, and there are so many kitties. And they're all available for adoption, except I can't adopt them because allergies. Someone please cure allergies, please. I want
You
all the
know
cats.
that there is a theory that repeat exposure will.
Yay!
It's Dagon.
These kitties.
And he didn't run away, so.
Aw, he's such a handsome
Aw.
kitty.
But I am gonna go kick him out.
He is such a
Handsome kitty.
chunky boy.
Oh, do you hear him? He's growling.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
he stopped.
But I love how dignified he looks.
We really need to just get a stream room set up for the cats, and just have a cat channel.
I mean, it's a license to print money.
We don't intentionally lock the cats in with us. It's just they like to hide under things, particularly Spitfire and Dagon. And so when they feel safe, they'll come out, and then we look over and it's like, oh, there's a cat in here with me. I have ended up with Dagon under my desk multiple times.
I am back after the guest star kitties. Yellow broke in while I was taking the others out.
Oh
Oh.
my god.
Oh, we just...
Camera, no.
so,
Any area that doesn't have a cat in it must have a cat in it. Them's the rules, as far as the
So?
cats are concerned.
level up. It's like,
Yeah, y'all hit level 8!
Level
Yeah.
up!
and now, I will fail wisdom saves less.
Yay!
Because that nonsense had to stop. I'm like, I cannot. I'm sorry. Like, I come from I come from playing in many different editions of D&D. Having wisdom not being a thing for monks.
It feels weird,
It's
right?
a little
What?
strange.
I know, right? I
Well,
know.
I mean,
I know.
part of
Like
it is-
it would be less weird if wisdom wasn't a key thing for like monks for stuff like key and like powers and abilities and it's like
I kind
Yeah,
of,
I think Opal took resilient.
yeah, I kind
Yeah,
of feel like
I
the
end up
only
having-
reason that they don't have it naturally is because you eventually get the ability to charm and mind control effects on yourself with an action.
well, charmed and feared. That's it. That's it.
I thought it was mind control too.
It's better than nothing.
No, not mind control. It's like
Oh.
just charmed and feared.
Well, I'm going to definitely abuse the fuck out of that then.
So recaps.
Oh right. Oh wait, no. I'm very like galaxy brained right now. Demage,
Don't
you
we have
had
Tex
a
gone though?
really I noticed that he disappeared.
Yeah, I was having some
Tux, where you
real
at?
bad lag issues, so I'm trying it without video to see if that's more stable.
Okay.
I think it's that the problem that
giving
my
you slanty eyes.
okay, I see that.
Yeah,
You can't see my reaction, but I do see you.
unfortunately, my own webcam is still crapped out, so I need to get a new one.
We're all having lag, Tex. Just put your camera back.
So welcome to the podcast version, where you can't see us anyway. No, Demage, I was talking with you yesterday about this like really cool concept that you were coming up with, and
Yeah.
like, do you want to talk about that any while I desperately try and find my notes? No, I'm kidding.
Sure. Like,
No, although that was a really fun concept. Y'all guys go ahead and start doing the inspiring leader is a good feat. Yeah. One of y'all. Okay, today's prize for whoever does the best version of a recap gets a bottle of compressed magical pigment, silver, which essentially acts as a heroism potion when you spray it on your face.
I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
So do we want to just roll a
Oh.
d4 for who gives it a shot?
Let's try to remember what happened last week. It's been a very long week. Let's see.
Oh
Last
my
week,
God.
we
Last
start out
time
last week
on
being attacked by the
Second
fish, I
Side
believe.
Yeah.
We got finished with interviews and we were starting to explore like a like underground facility. It's like the old lab.
An underground facility. It was Faradir and Rail's former lab, which we had abandoned at some point. Well, basically because the Gruul incursion. Also, Rail at one point woke up in the lab in the dark with a dagger in his chest or stomach? In his stomach. And something attacking him, which we're still not sure what that was.
Which was like 10 episodes ago.
It was a scuttlefish. You're not going to find that
Oh.
damn thing. It broke out like 2 days later, and who
Well,
knows
at this
where
point,
the fuck
it's
that
somebody's
is.
cuisine.
No, it was
Please, it's Ravnica. Somebody's made it into dinner by now.
Equilibrium. You are welcome to try as well. But yeah, no, that was the scuttlefish from the bowl that was being exposed to various mutative of fields. I say this because
Okay.
I don't think y'all are going to be able to find that damn thing. I know
Okay.
where it is.
Oh.
I know what happened with it. But I
Right.
New
don't.
mini quest for Rail.
Hey. New
Rail,
quest.
find the
Seafood.
Scuttlefish.
Rail does like seafood. So we all went back to the old lab, had to excavate our way into it because the tree that served as an entrance is no longer a tree, it's more rubble. We found numerous semi-undead and mutated monstrosities, including one very disturbing, formerly... Well, no, it was not actually formerly human, but one humanoid test subject that very nearly killed all of us with harpoons for hands. That was
And it
fun.
was
Because
only
of the
one
brave
thing
action.
out of that vat. That'll be...
Yeah,
Well,
we then
I will point out that tube was not broken. The glass is intact.
So, it's like, thanks to the brave actions, it's like, I mean, yeah, I know that it wasn't broken because I put my hands on it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
people
like-
were saying
And then
broken
there's
out.
thing
Anyway,
in
back
there.
to the harpoon creature. It's like, because of the brave actions of our fellow monk and ranger, it's like, we kept it from doing deadly amounts of damage.
This is true.
Kept
Yeah.
both of its spear arms,
It's
Yes.
like
occupied.
we're restraining it with our bodies.
I mean, it
And
worked
still
for
smacking the shit out of them.
it worked for Mordred.
Of which continuity? Like the original Arthurian legends, or what?
The original one where he climbs up Arthur's spear and stabs him. If you've ever seen Star Trek Nemesis,
Yeah.
that bit at the end was a reference to that.
Yes. Oh, that made me flash back to my British Brit Lit class. Oh, thank you.
Yeah, not gonna lie, I had to go through the Rolodex for a second for that one.
Really?
Alright.
Huh.
Just wasn't expecting a Mordred reference, okay?
I mean, like,
Okay,
it's
when
right
you're
up there
around
with
me,
the Green
Arthurian
Knight.
stuff is always in the bag.
Oh my God, the Green Knight, and
They're making a movie of that.
I know, I'm so excited.
Yeah. Alright,
I
so
remember reading. Oh, yeah, no,
um,
never mind. Let's
This
keep
is
going.
going to be the
Long
whole
story
stream. It's
short.
just me and Meryl sharing Arthurian stuff.
No,
Welcome
we're
to
going.
the recap episode.
hey. So yeah, let me speed run through the rest of it. We cleared out some
Come
more
on, guys,
horrible
we
monstrosities.
have to delay.
Found
I'm sorry.
several researchers' old research notes. We found what looked like it had been Rail's research notes, but they had been wiped clean, blank paper. We then, we thought, cleared out a fairly safe area, went to take a nap. I believe we took a long rest down there.
Nah,
Short rest.
And
short rest.
short rest. Okay,
And now we're at the start
wound
of
up some-
episode 33 instead of 32.
Okay. And basically found ourselves surprised by a half-fish person who then screamed at us, which, somewhat understandably, we all thought was hostile. Turned out he was trying to run away from the Lovecraftian fish person monstrosities that were chasing him. We still don't know exactly why they were chasing him or where they came from. We stunned him, killed several of them. The rest of them beat a retreat down the drains by turning into water. And we then had a fairly unproductive for everything except finding out a little bit more about what happened to Faradir conversation with the dude before he left.
Dr. Cardot.
Well, no, y'all also had an interesting interaction with
Found about parallel development and
Yeah.
2 samples.
They came down, like, to the lab, looking like, okay, I'm not going to mess this up. I'm like, Cathal.
Yep.
Yes, there we go. we had we definitely last episode had a long conversation about Cathal. It's like, and the need to change names eventually.
Well, in all fairness, y'all just need to find out Kral's real name,
Yes.
and my problem will be done or solved.
So we found out the name of Faradir's new boss. We found out that Dr. Cardot is messing with things that shouldn't be messed with and opened a gate, and we should forget that name and not mess with him. That he's not partnering with Kral, but both are dangerous. And there's more to the daggers. That was important, guys. Faradir. That was important.
And I still keep thinking that Cathal is a Minotaur, not an elf. I don't know why.
The best part
We
is
found out there's the whole parallel development with the Kraken genetics. Not just one Faradir, possibly, and one Scion, but a whole system of them, which is going to be a nice callback conversation later to the horror that we fought. like this one was 2 sample 386, so we're looking at maybe a lot. We found out Corral was gruel for about 3 months. Probably coincides with some bunny time. We
Some
found
bunny time. I like that.
we found out because you wouldn't know this yet, Rail. We found out the new Simic boss's name for the area was Varith.
Right.
We got some of the note keys about sample extraction, implementation, adaption, or adapt, amplify, dagger. We got some lab supplies for not turning into the Simic or turning into the Simic, depending.
We also
Um,
research Sam.
you got some
All sorts
corrosive
of interesting
black
roots
liquid.
and blues.
Yeah, you got some black liquid.
The black pudding cup?
Mm-hmm. We found out that the 12 tubes are fueled from the power grid, but we don't know if we lose power, if they're freed, or if they die. And that's something very important.
Yeah, I really don't resist that.
Yeah, but we should know that either way. That would be good to know. And then Grigum found out something important that he hasn't told us yet about them feeding into emotions to the tubes.
I didn't tell you that?
You just needed a hug.
Like, I thought it was obvious enough that people had to tackle me away from the damn thing.
I don't know.
Like, again, I was bodily tackled away from it the moment I started to look weird.
Well, they noticed that something looked weird. You didn't tell them your experience or emotions or feelings.
Yeah, like,
would think the sobbing
basically
would have
in
been away, but-
character, I was like making sure you weren't getting electrocuted or something.
Yeah. But we can discuss
Yes,
that when we all
Sobbing
wake
is a
up.
sign of electrocution. Moving on.
Please continue.
All right. I believe that's about the shape of it. In the end, we couldn't decide whether or not we wanted to free them or
That was a big discussion, yeah.
or not. I
That was a,
believe
2
what we
hours
settled
discussion?
on in
Almost, yeah.
I believe in the end we settled on bringing it to the Simic and letting them. Oh no, no! We did not bring it to the Simic.
Oh.
We had
We-
some of our henchmen keep
Yes,
an eye on it
we-
while we left to do more research.
Yeah.
We decided to
We like to go to
divert manpower to, like, keep an eye on this thing. It's like,
It seems like a
And to-
perfect job for Omen. Or,
Right.
As a note, it
like
wasn't.
oh my god, Omen Drawn, you're here?
Who, by the way, I have got to prank him back somehow.
I still love that
Also,
you're
how do we
referring
know-
to, you keep on thinking of, Cathal as a Minotaur, and she's like a 4'10" elf. She is
Cathal
tiny.
isn't a Minotaur.
Also,
who's a
as a
Minotaur?
note,
That's a really small
As a
minotaur.
note-
She's shorter than Ingrid.
as of note, how are we sure that the Cathal wasn't back at the lab and this is that we were talking to?
We didn't do any insight checks on that. We
There
did
was.
not.
Look.
They were wearing
we
the
got
same
that-
jacket.
Look.
Well, I mean, okay.
We were worn out
Okay.
for that entire night between battling and also the 2-hour argument that we had.
To be fair, character names for this campaign have included Cathal, Corral, and Cathil. It's getting slightly
Cathilin.
confusing.
Wait,
and
which
now
one
I
is
feel-
Cathil?
and now I can't help but
Cathil.
sympathize with my.
Cathil was one of the druids.
Oh, right, yes. I don't know if
And now
they
I can't help
survived.
And there was also
When the GM has to be reminded of his own character.
Hey,
they
hey,
were fairly
hey.
minor characters.
Do you
It's
know how
okay.
many
I know,
NPCs I have
know.
created? You're lucky you're not dealing
I
with Bob
know.
and Billy Bob.
Yeah, there was also I don't remember what the name of the shoot. Oh, right, Esden Glory Pelt. That was the Minotaur that Rail hit on.
You hit on her? I don't.
He was flirting.
Flirting. I would
This
say
is before
flirting.
Mavana.
Yeah, that one. That wasn't hitting on. That was flirting with.
He was flirting with
Yeah,
her.
she was the Boros that was standing guard that debriefed y'all and then got y'all assigned to Thunder's Reach. Glory Pelt.
Right.
But yeah, man, it's like even if like Cathal wasn't a Minotaur, I still pictured her being taller than the rest of us.
No, she's just
taller than
very
you.
angry. She's
taller
She's
than
got a
you.
McGonagall kind of feel to
Taller
her.
than me, yes. It's like, but definitely, he's like she was imposing enough for me to think she was much taller than any of us, give or take Fair Deer with his like standing on his tentacles like
Higher
he
level
is
than
in-
us.
Yes, I
Oh.
understand that. Like she's our major domo. She's ranked higher. She's an authoritarian figure over us.
she's
No.
also a high level bounty
it's our
hunter.
company, technically. Technically, she's our employee.
Sure. We can go with that.
She exists. She exists as part of our structure, but she's basically our supervisor. like
Can be both.
she exists simultaneously as our supervisor and our secretary.
This is a dilemma of administrative assistants everywhere. They don't get the
no.
ranking credit and the salary, but they do a lot of policing.
This is Matrix organization at work here, folks. We are part of two different departments.
All right. So in this department,
can't
I'm your
fit.
boss, but in this department, you're my boss.
Hey, let's hear it for confusing org charts.
Flat org.
I did not
I
expect.
mean, once as a student worker with only 20 hours a week, I technically had 5 bosses.
Sheesh.
It was interesting.
You don't want to know how many bosses I had when I was working retail. It was enough that I managed to get them fighting with each other so I could be left alone to do my own work.
Let's hear it for capitalism.
So anyway, Rail took the first swing at this, so Rail gets the compressed pigments of heroism. Just add a potion of
Yay.
heroism to your inventory.
Will do. Rail also got
Yeah, I
some
didn't
new
take it this time.
spells.
Got some what?
Because, Rail got some new spells because, as the new level, Rail has now found some interesting arcane secrets in his research, and is now an arcane trickster.
That's right. You'll have some arcane secrets that y'all are also looking into from someone's travel book.
I mean, I have to still invite Rail to help me look into that.
And I think that is pretty much.
I have one more spell to copy, and then it's time for secrets.
So I think that's pretty much everything that's happened recently. So let's get to those introductions real quick. Let's see here. Rolling the traditional D4.
Only traditional now.
2. So that is Demage. Tell us about Griggum.
Hi, I'm the mage. He's like probably the most gorgeous. And it's like out of everyone here. I'm playing Griggum, almost the exact opposite of me. And it's like, generally, like he is a drunken master, goblin monk of the Selesnya Conclave. One take, got it. And it's like, and he's been fairly disgruntled lately, and probably has been hitting the booze a little more than he should be meditating.
Be it as
I
you
take
may.
issue with the probably.
All right. You know what? I just noticed something. On the stream, we're being bookended by still images.
Oh,
Well, hey, Fair, you should change your icon to your character later.
Or K.
K is always good.
Yep. All right, Ziziva, you're up, hon.
Okay, I'm Ziziva, and I'm playing Ingrid, who's a Golgari shaman and who is the boards person of the group, so does inventory tracking. She is currently drinking for her first time as a drinking character, other than at the party with peer pressure, because she's recently found out that she's some kind of sort of cousin to Rail. And now we're in the middle of there are maybe human intelligent, maybe not creatures that we have at our mercy, and we have to figure out what to do with them. That does not make her uncomfortable at all, and she is going to bed for the night.
I get to call her Hun because we're married.
Aww.
Fair dear.
Hi, everybody. I'm
Invisible.
Fair here. I'm the Simic Ranger. I like the outdoors and enjoy long walks under the beach.
Under the beach, okay.
I like that. That was smart.
Thank you. That took me 5 minutes to come up with.
Hey, a Type 5 takes work.
Yeah. Yeah. Lots of interesting things about his origins. And I think that's pretty much it.
Okay. We will leave out the part about having a dog that has gelatized skeleton. Well, cartilaginous
Yeah, I
skeleton.
also have a very good Slinky Boy.
That's not inaccurate, I guess. Rail, save us from all this.
Alright, so I am Merle. I play Rail Corvino, the formerly Simic researcher, current Orzhov priest. He is a cleric and now an arcane trickster, and secretly, to the other characters, if not the other players, a Dimir spy. He is always the best dressed in the room. He is a little bit slow on the heels, but always quick with a club to the face. And this episode, he's getting a familiar. Taking suggestions for familiar names in the comments.
Hey, if you got a suggestion for a familiar name, go ahead and throw it out. I will add the traditional Professor Thaddeus to the pile.
Blackwing.
Oh my lord, have y'all heard about the G5 stuff with DC?
The what?
I have not.
Basically, they're going to do another continuity reboot. They're basically going out like Wonder Woman was the first superhero. Superman was the second generation. Third generation was a lot of the crises and stuff like that. Fourth generation is where we currently are. And in fifth generation, we're going to see like Superman retire. We're going to see Bruce Wayne retire. And new versions showing up. Lucas Fox becomes Batman.
Why not just have Terry?
Hmm?
Why not just have Terry?
I know, right?
That would be an excellent idea. I wish they would go for it.
I guess they could just go with Kane if they want to go the more socially aware, but actually giving Kate Kane an interesting character.
I mean, to be fair, the last time they tried to pass the mantle on from Batman, well, Bruce Wayne, like we had Azrael, you know, like
yeah, that worked well.
Nonsense. Yeah, that
It was a different time.
To be
That was
fair,
the 90s.
Yeah, like
What's
the
this
same one where we had.
We all know they make their money off the movies. The comics is not doing anything profit-wise, so
Yeah. So anyway, I can kind of get behind that. It's like, however, I'm sad to see that like Batman is not in any part of the generational superheroes, despite being part of the big three.
Yeah.
he's not a superhero.
He is a superhero.
I mean,
He puts in work. I'm like, don't lie.
He's a hero.
yes, he's
but
definitely
he's not a
he is a
superhero.
heroic figure.
He is
You know,
he is
very
a
much a
caped
superhero.
crusader.
What
Like,
about
Wait.
being a GM?
No,
He's a
no,
detective.
I'm enjoying
He's
this.
He's a hero, and he is a super one.
Look, you
And
saying
you
that
know
he's
why?
a detective is like
Wait,
makes me want. Look, you saying
do you
that he's.
know?
Go ahead.
Do you know why he's a superhero? Presentation.
There we go. Okay,
I was gonna say you say like
Okay.
you saying that he's a detective makes me want to say, bitch, he fought Darkseid and won.
But
all right,
he's a detective.
all right.
He is also the world's greatest detective.
Okay, I'm getting glared
Well,
at and
second
stuff like
greatest.
that.
I'm sorry.
No, it's entirely my fault because I'm having fun.
He is the Mario of DC. He is the second greatest detective after Detective Chimp. He is the second
Oh.
greatest martial artist after Richard Dragon.
Oh.
But he is a much, much better detective than Richard Dragon and a much,
We
much
just
better
need to start
martial
having
artist
our
than
Friday
Detective Chimp.
chat thing so we can get all this chat out of our system on Friday. And then we can
Yeah.
start gaming.
I mean, guys.
Sorry, I need a caffeine infusion.
I mean, guys, would y'all be
We're
interested
already
in that?
almost 2 hours. No, we're almost an hour into our.
Yeah, I mean, guys,
Yeah.
would y'all be
We definitely
interested in that?
get
Like
together
Friday
soon.
I would
nights?
totally be interested in that.
We can just load into the
Yeah.
just chatting.
Drinking, chatting, and I don't know.
I mean, like
I know your
I
schedule's all
have
weird.
a window. Yeah, like
Drinking,
I have a
chatting, and
window.
Jackbox.
Yeah, like I have a window between like 5 and what is it? I want to say like 8, like where I have free time, and then I have a Dragon of Ice Spire, Ice Speak or something
Oh,
like that.
nice. Are y'all doing
Game
it
going on.
solo player or group?
Group like,
Same.
and I'm playing like basically for that character. I'm playing a like I'm drawing upon all my middle high school like emo imagination here just to place a silly angsty character.
Oh, you're playing a Blood Hunter.
Find out what time that is
Yes.
our time, though,
Actually,
because
it's like-
I've still got work.
Yeah, is that EST, CST, GST?
EST.
EST. Okay.
Well, you get back by 6.
All right.
Yeah.
So, y'all have a relatively quiet evening. I'm assuming no one is going out. No one has questioned where Opal has disappeared to, because this is not the first time Opal has disappeared.
No, it's not. No, it is not.
Sadly, no.
Yeah.
I'm assuming.
That's-
Was there anything on the 5th? I believe it was still, or the 6th?
But we're the morning of the 7th if
The
we start
7th,
at
yeah.
morning.
I was about to say, is there anything y'all want to deal with now that it's like 1 a.m. at the 7th and y'all haven't gone to bed yet?
Well, Griggum is going to do his patented like method of meditation of just drinking himself till he passes out.
I guess the only thing I wanted to do is ask Rail and Fairdeer what happens if the electricity goes out and see if they knew.
All right.
Unclear.
I think that could probably wait for morning.
Okay.
All right. So, you all proceed to have a long rest in your underground, highly secure facility that y'all literally have henchmen to guard y'all while y'all sleep.
Yeah. Yeah, that.
With our lives. It's like,
You awaken in the early, like 5 a.m. hours of the 7th.
Our long rest? Because you said we take a long rest, so I clicked it. So
Yeah, no,
I
you're
won.
fine. You're fine.
Okay.
5 a.m. comes around and a banging comes through on each of y'all's doors. There's about 30 seconds after the bang before you hear Cathal yelling through the door, "Wake up! We have people!"
We have
Before you
people.
hear that,
I'm acknowledged.
you
Wait, you mean there's a 5 a.m.? Alright.
Armor's going on.
Alright. What do you mean, people? Like, how urgent does she sound? Does it sound like she means like people beating down the door people?
Well,
We're like
she
goblin raiders people.
make an insight check at disadvantage because she literally shouted that at you and then left.
Alright. I'm just wondering if I should be stopping to grab armor or just grab my outfit and my cane.
Well, why wouldn't you sleep in your armor? You don't have any exhaustion.
Because it's... Okay, you know how Bedhead is? Imagine how much worse it would be in armor.
It'd be horrible, yeah.
I needed my hit dice back. I definitely was not sleeping in my armor. I've only done that
So
one
insight,
time.
That was a 23 with disadvantage.
23? She didn't sound rushed. She sounded more, why do I have to deal with this?
Okay, armor on then. That's the one thing I regret about not being able to fit in prestidigitation is imagine just being able to like, poof, your hair is perfect.
Oh, hey, Doom.
It doesn't shave your hair. It just cleans it.
Doom,
Well,
you missed the earlier announcement, but I wanted to make sure you hadn't because you did that big donation for us. We are going to have our Patreon go live at the end of the month. Sorry, please continue. Rail was complaining about not having prestidigitation, I believe.
Yes. All right. What's up? What's going on? What's worth waking us up at this ungodly hour for?
She is not in the hallway when you poke your head out.
Since Ingrid's got her armor on too, she's probably coming out about the same time as Rail. Oh, hey, Rail.
Nirvana comes behind Rail.
Good morning, Ingrid.
Good morning, Rail. Good morning, Nirvana.
Nirvana, did you sleep at all?
I mean, the chair's comfortable, yes.
Just requisition her a bed for that room, Rail.
I thought I had. Nirvana, let's get you an actual sleep setup.
I mean,
We'll
You can
talk to
bodyguard me just as well laying down.
if that's what you want, Priest Corvino.
We'll talk about it. We have to talk
Somehow
about
use my bed.
He's going to just shoot Ingrid a meaningful glance. All right.
So, like, you eventually get Greg on.
Yeah.
So as they're walking up, Ingrid's going to be like, "So, Nirvana, how did you find us yesterday? You didn't have to go door to door, did you?"
Wait. So, question for Grigum
Mhm.
is: do we find him just kind of like with a bottle in his hand?
I'm assuming
Well,
it's a never empty bottle.
Yeah, like
Right,
the
like
bottle's not far from him, but the more important thing is the fact that he doesn't get bedhead, but you know that thing with dog ears where they just flip out inside. Like, yeah, that's what's going on with him right now, and it's like one ear is just like drooping off.
He's also in a tax collector outfit.
Yeah, it's like again.
Maybe we can get you a never-ending bottle of coffee.
Grigum likes to dress up apparently while he's drunk.
Yeah, apparently.
Hey guys, what's
It's like
up?
me in real life.
So, Nirvana, how'd you find him? You didn't have to go like door to door to find us, did you?
Oh, what do you mean, Miss Ingrid?
Ingrid? Huh?
Corvidae. Not Corvino, Corvidae.
Just
Yeah.
Ingrid's good.
Yes,
You know, just like Rail likes to be called Rail in informal settings so that he doesn't have to feel alienated from the people around him.
Exactly. All right.
okay.
So, yeah, I mean, you didn't have to go door to door to find us, did you? That would have been,
No, Miss Corvino brought me to y'all when y'all were staying at the,
Oh, I mean, yesterday at the tavern when we stopped off at a place.
Oh, no, I have been following y'all for a while.
Oh, okay. And Ingrid just
Good
takes that as
job.
an okay, and heads
Interesting
upstairs.
to know. I don't know how to think about that.
You do not need to worry about it, Priest Corvino.
I don't have to worry about you following us. I have to worry about me not noticing you following us.
Oh, I mean, they gave me the ring to make sure I am unobtrusive and not a bother for you.
Oh dear.
Good ring.
All right. Table that for now. All right. So what's? I need coffee. We don't have coffee.
Oh,
do
that
we?
reminds me. I never got that coffee back from Opal.
All right.
Oh well, I think
What-
we'll just have to have regular brewed coffee today.
Fair
I
dear.
don't think
I
the
don't know if I would
alcoholic
trust
coffee
Opal's
is
coffee.
a good idea.
Fair dear. Make me a history check, please.
13.
13. There's 2 bottles of coffee that you have been explicitly ignoring in your room for about 3 days now. One of which is laying on the floor leaking.
Oh, I've really been wanting some coffee ever since my room started smelling like coffee for some reason.
You hear from the upstairs at the end of the hallway, at either end of the hallway, the stairs going up. You hear basically coming down from both I almost did it. Cathal shouting down, "We have people up here!"
I go to meet the people.
Oh, hey, Fairdear, you're catching up with us.
I didn't know that tentacles could look frizzy.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Just smooth your scales down a tiny bit more. I think you've almost got it.
That has got to be a freakish sensation. Fuzzy
what you
tentacles.
You see
Think
Fairdear
about it.
running out
Fuzzy
down,
tentacles.
licking his palms and trying to smooth the scales back like you would your hair if you're really in a hurry.
From the side of his face, yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I'm still thinking about fuzzy tentacles. That's just distressing. Ugh. Okay. So,
It's basically like sloth arms, right?
Is he having a
yeah.
bad tentacle day?
I think so.
So,
And he
do I see the
Just
people
8
yet?
hours of rest for the tentacles to set properly.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, we're all heading upstairs.
All right. In the main chamber, the receiving chamber, whatever you want to call it, Cathal is sitting at the little U-shaped table bin that y'all have. Videlkin in Azorius robes is sitting adjacent to her, with a number of papers spread out on the tabletop in front of them. Pan is standing at the inside of the U-bend, looking over the papers and talking with them. And our Tamisha, I believe is what her name. I can't pronounce it.
New one?
What? Yeah. Notes.
Amnastria.
Amnestria, thank you. Is holding a mug of something hot. It's steaming. She's taking a sip and adding the occasional input.
Okay. Look. So, like, the big, hang on, it's like, and does a quick head count, and it's like, the big 4 here. And it's like, what can we do for you?
All right.
Are you addressing that to anyone in particular, or
I guess to our client.
just
that
to the
showed
general?
up.
Okay, I just wanted to check to see if you were addressing it to Amnestria. There we go. Thank you.
Oh,
What?
seems a little bit of shade on Opal there, but
Well, she's
Okay.
not currently here. It's like, if she was here, I would have said the big 5. And it's like,
Well, kind of giving Mavana short shrift.
He's
Big 4
she's
and a
not
half.
she is not a part
The voting
partner.
majority has arrived.
The senior staff.
Cathal
Yes.
and Cathal, Pan, and Amnestria look up.
The founders are here.
The Vidalkin kind of nods to you, looks back at the paper. Cathal gestures all over. This is Arbiter Ventel. He has a bit of work for y'all, as most of our teams are currently engaged in either active research or
Yes.
other
Um,
things. She
Yep.
sighs for a
We
moment.
understand.
No.
We understand. It's like,
Yeah.
Can we help?
Okay. Well, and she gestures to the papers and then to Ventel. He's like, I am, as she said, I am Arbiter Ventel of the Zoria Senate. I am been charged with, I have been charged with the negotiation, I should say, of, disputes between people or groups or individuals in groups. And generally, it's like, I don't know if you've ever been before an arbiter. Sorry. Make an insight check for me, anyone that wants to.
I will.
yeah. It's like, and that reminds me, I need to get out my dice. It's like,
19.
11.
15.
Rail can't be good at everything.
let's see, which die should I use today? I think I should use my black DCC dice. It's like, insight was it? It's like
Yeah, if you want.
11.
It's alright, it was a fairly low DC. He seems obviously very nervous and rambling. He's like, anyway, my job is to come to a decision on situations that don't require the full attention of a judge, and a recent arbitration that I have been tasked with involves certain gang members that are rather violent and prone to living in areas that I would prefer not to travel to.
And who's having issues with the gangs that you're also representing?
The oh damn, what were their names? The Burning Claw Gruel are kind of wanting to be re-recognized by the guild pack as a member of the Gruel clans.
And the only one that's been not recognized recently is the one that attacked the precinct, right?
Yes.
So that group
Yes.
with the red dragon?
I don't know what. What?
Are they still led by a dragon?
I hope not.
Okay, so that's that. So which gang members?
The I'm assuming the leadership of. Oh God. I've never had to arbitrate between a dragon and. Okay. He seems very.
Would you like some water?
Yes, please.
I'm
Water.
just gonna pour him a water and go sit by him.
All right. Where do we come into this exactly?
I need to go and talk to the leadership of the Burning Claw clan, so I can make a decision. At this point, your passive perception of 20 and 19, respectively, you two, would pick up on every time I say her name, Amnestria, kind of walking from the back of the room to the front holding a tray with several mugs that are steaming. She sets the one down in front of each of y'all. The last one going in front of Faradir, she kind of pats his shoulder a bit before walking off. Inside the mug is a kind of thick, porridgey looking substance.
Interesting.
Smell like coffee?
Give it a sniff. No. It smells a bit complex. It has a scent of nutmeg and cinnamon with egg and almost a milky scent.
Brigham downs it without even questioning it.
I don't trust her, but she doesn't seem like the poisoning type, so I'll have some.
Brigham already has
Yeah.
taken some.
In addition to the scents that you picked up, it has this like eggy taste with a kind of oat mixed with it.
Liquid breakfast.
No booze.
Okay, so it's just you've got to go talk to the Burning Claw Gruul and evaluate them for their claim.
That's the stuff.
Yes, and do you know a Miss Meridian?
Checking my notes. Checking my notes.
Or
Boy, that
Meriden?
sounds familiar.
Wait,
her
you
name.
mean Cha?
Yes.
Oh, Cha!
He like leans
Are you
back a
friends with
little.
her?
She is my boss.
Oh, okay. Hi, welcome to our agency.
Oh, that changes things.
Now we're on the same page, apparently.
Yeah, we were actually just down at her chapter house the other day. We got a warrant thing, and we went to go chat with her.
Yes, she told me to, like, if I was worried or I felt like I was in danger, I should come talk to y'all to see if y'all would be willing. You would be willing to escort me to the wastes.
Oh, most definitely. In fact, I think Griffin was planning on going down there anyway. We've been preparing protective spells and things.
Wait, first, is this a formal request? And Rail produces a sheaf of contract.
I mean, yes. It's like, and he like goes to his belt pouch and pulls out a
The same forms in triplicate.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. And which he sets down. He's like, and then he also produces roughly 10 Orzhov 10 Zib, 10 Orzhov 10 Xeno Platinum pieces and sets them on the table as well.
Payment up front?
Of course.
Hmm.
Well, half a payment up front.
I do
Smart.
so enjoy doing business with good customers.
No, I enjoy not being eaten by Maka, so I think this should work well then.
All right.
Fader's really good with large animal hunts, too.
He kind of looks
see,
over at at Faradir because no one has introduced themselves, but you kind of gesture at Faradir. He's like, "Oh,
Right.
yeah,
Yes, introductions. I am Rail. This is Mavana. Don't mind her. That is Ingrid, as she said. Griggum, Faradir. Who else? Nobody else. All right. The other main member of our group is...
As our first intern, he's like, he's not the first.
Pan clears his throat.
You don't... When you're introduced to the company, you don't get introduced to every employee.
Yeah, I know.
And Pan
No, it's okay, Miss Ingrid. Thank you, though. And he gestures to the papers laid out in front of him. This is a very rough map of the Red Waste, keep in mind. My research team has not been able to get a very detailed or recent sketch due to aerial threats that are inhibiting over.
Yes. The drakes and things.
Yes,
All right.
but I took the liberty of preparing the rough map for where we believe the Burning Claw have set up their personal campgrounds.
And we are doing this at the Burning Claw's request.
The Burning Claw has requested that that the judgment against them by the Office of the Guild Pact that they are not affiliated with the Gruul clans be lifted and they be reinstated as a member of the Gruul clans.
Out of curiosity, how did the actual Gruul feel about this?
Exactly what I was about to ask. Yeah.
Do y'all know any Gruul?
No, like we're asking him,
Well,
or I'm asking him.
There might
like,
be another arbiter for that.
He like
Or, you know,
I happen
wait,
to know
you're
a
asking
third cousin, but I haven't talked to him in ages. So I was like,
you're asking Pan or are you asking Ventel?
Tell.
Huh?
Who are you asking that?
Vintel.
Okay.
Sorry.
That is, I mean, they were originally Gruul, so I would assume that the Gruul do not particularly. I mean, I'm under the impression that the Gruul do not particularly care about much.
So we're not likely to face.
Just making sure
resistance
we don't
from
want
them
to.
active.
Yeah, we don't want to obviously make a situation worse.
I mean,
I think it was probably a political thing. Like, if they were still Gruul at the time, then they would have been violating the Guild Pact, and the Guild Pact would have been put under stress without its living person here. So they had to be not.
the question
they
is,
did the thing. So I don't think it's so
look.
much the Gruul wanted them kicked out.
look.
Right.
Here's the question here: what is it you are hoping to contract from us? And, like, are you looking for protection or for actual, negotiational backup? I guess you could say.
I mean, like, this isn't a negotiation. I mean, I need someone to help me get to their encampment, and
Okay,
then
so you're
protect
looking for
me.
escort. Gotcha.
And then make sure I get back, because I have to go and talk to their leadership to get their side of the story. And at this point, he's looking very freaked out.
Okay, and just to clarify, this request is coming from the leadership of the Claw Gruul, not on behalf of somebody else or a third party.
The I don't know the exact person that made the petition, but the Burning Claw clan petitioned to be restored as members of the Gruul clans, and so I have to come and talk to them and then render a decision.
Don't worry, our documents go with all the formal paperwork with you. And then we've already been working on getting a ground escort out to the area. Griggum here has been contacting local people. Griggum, the local guide. So that's actually already been in the works since we were heading that way. So
well,
no worries, stress, do your paperwork.
Technically speaking, they're safari guides, but they definitely know the area.
They do
very well.
If they know how to find the animals, they know how to avoid the animals.
All right, and do we have any kind of guarantees of safe passage from the Burning Claw themselves?
I hope.
All right. You look nervous. Are you nervous?
A little bit, yes.
Don't worry.
Pardon me?
Don't be nervous.
I'm sure Cha wouldn't assign you anything she didn't think you could handle.
She didn't.
And that we couldn't. And wouldn't recommend you to us if we couldn't handle it either.
Oh, no. I am not. She is the captain of my area, but I do not report directly to her. I am of the paralegal branch of the. Is it?
Right,
Or sorry, of the Azorius. She is.
I'm just saying, wait, what?
Well, to be fair,
Oh god!
it's like they probably do need a paralegal team themselves. And half the shit that happens with them.
But
You
yes,
signed the waiver. It's like,
yeah,
So, like, I'll be right back.
yeah.
Have some water, breathe. We're just going to work on our preparations. You've got paperwork, obviously, to work with our documents on.
Oh, these are already signed. And he slides over the packet that he brought.
yeah, like he had the paperwork done before he came here.
Like, all you have
but
to
it
do is
still
countersign.
worth looking over.
Yeah.
I'm going to read that paperwork very
Make
carefully.
an investigation roll.
Bureaucramancer.
I believe I have advantage on it.
Yep, you should.
Guidance.
Guidance doesn't hurt either. Where's the documents or junk?
So I'll cast guidance on Rail as he reaches over, because the guy's sitting right next to me. I'll just be like,
You do, in fact, read documents instead of conventional pornography, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, right, hold on. Okay, that's not bad.
I'm rolling. Wait. Which skill am I actually rolling again?
Investigation.
Investigation. All right, with advantage.
Mm-hmm.
With guidance.
Mm-hmm.
So first roll. That's not a very good roll. That is the exact same roll. What the fuck?
Well, hold on a second. As you are poring over the documents, Amnestria walks by, puts one hand on your shoulder, kind of leans over you, and taps the document. It's like, you want to start reading right there. As she uses her one portent of the day to give you a 15 on your roll.
Oh my god. Okay. Like I like a roll of 15.
Yes.
Okay. So, because I rolled a 3 and a 3.
Mavana seems a little not happy about her putting her hand on your shoulder and leaning over it.
So 22, and Rail is oblivious because that's the kind of thing
Because
where you
Rail.
are oblivious if you know it's good. No, because you act oblivious if you know what's good for you.
Okay. So the party of the first part, hereby referred to as Arbiter. Too many V's today. Ventel. Contracts. Party of the second part, herefore referred to as the Second Side Agency, to provide protection, escort, and mutual defense on any trips into the Red Wastes or out of the Red Wastes as necessary until the completion of assignment relating to Burning Claw Clan is resolved.
there probably should be a max time frame on there before renegotiation. I would see if you can add that clause in.
Are they open to some renegotiation? Like Rail is asking that to Ventel.
I mean, of course, if necessary, but the payment will be. I mean, like he taps the platinum coins. It's like the payment will be on a weekly basis for as long as necessary, with the final sum total being.
And what's the priority of this? Like, if we have to do something, do we have to immediately drop everything?
I mean,
do that, or
the sooner I get out there and can talk to apparently a dragon, the better. But if you cannot leave immediately, that's all right. I could probably wait a day or two. Yes, I could.
Sorry, I meant for subsequent visits.
Oh,
like if 4 weeks, 4 months down the line, you need to go back. Like, are we obligated to immediately drop everything and take you there
No,
again?
no. I mean, we're not. I mean, we are unreasonable bureaucratic monsters, but we're very friendly about that and understand people have busy lives.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we don't have an unreasonable expectation on either side.
Okay, yeah, no, yeah.
Also, probably need to calm down. Remember, dragons do smell fear. And
This dragon may hold a grudge.
There. You're undoing what I'm working on. Shush.
I'm just trying to make sure that he understands that, you know.
So, Rael, do you think we ought to go in, as a slightly different group for the safari? Just a bit of a disguise?
I think that's an excellent idea.
I'm sure it doesn't hurt for Arbiter Vental to go in his official outfit,
I don't know
since he's on official purpose.
I think we're going to be fine. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We met that dragon.
Yeah. We did
Rael
very little to
controlled it.
Rael and I met those people.
We did very little to it.
And
And it's still in a position of power. It's like,
Ventel's
you did
like,
very little to it.
oh, you know the leadership? Oh, that'll make this so
No,
much easier.
I said I did spy murmur, and then I tapped my ear.
Sorry.
And did it. Yeah, I was telling Grigum, we met the dragon, we mind controlled it.
mind control is a strong word. It's like, you suggested it to do something else. And it's like,
Well,
and on top of that,
Mind control.
that's not
it's
mind
really-
control. It's like,
it's really unclear to me whether the subject of a suggestion spell knows that they've been subjected to a suggestion spell.
If it's something that you would not normally do, or coming from a person you would not normally follow the suggestions of.
I mean, the whole point of suggestion is that you have to present them with something they would do reasonably. It's like, regardless of, who's in charge when, or, what position you're in. It's like,
I mean, you can't tell them to do
Like-
they get to say they get to resist it if it's something that would hurt them.
Yes.
yeah,
But it's
well, hurt
basically
them
a
or do
geas.
something out of, like, that they are like, why the fuck would I ever do that? And it's like,
I mean,
Like
I
telling-
told it to deliver a message to a soft, bright soul.
Yeah, it's not a messenger, but it did it, and so is fairly sure.
well, you have to,
Yeah.
you have to consider that it
As
also,
a note, dragons, not homing pigeons.
I turned him into one.
look. It's like, what you told him to send a message, but really the intent was go here, fuck shit up. Like, which is within a dragon's purview.
This is a lot of crosstalk for the fact that I communicated to Grigum directly.
I know this is mostly out of character,
sorry.
unfortunately.
Okay.
I keep forgetting that the Spy's Murmur is not a conference call.
It is not a walkie-talkie. Well, actually,
Because
yeah,
he was
it
the
is
one
not
that
a
didn't want to
walkie-talkie.
disguise, so I just contacted him directly. We probably did need to disguise, basically.
Brigham still doesn't understand why. He's like, "What? Do you want me to put on a wig or something?" I don't get why. And it's like,
Oh dear.
Well, after we're done, I'll just say, after we're done with paperwork, we'll probably go to the side and start getting our preparations ready. Looks over at Rail, getting our
Yeah.
preparations ready.
Let's
I-
do that.
He nods. How many days do you feel you will need?
Oh, less than one, I would think. And he's kind of looking around at everybody else. What's everybody else feeling?
To go. It's like he points at the map, and like if you actually take a look at the map, you can see that the encampment that they appear to, where they assume that the Burning Claw is roughly 4 days deep into the Red Wastes.
Well, there are maybe a couple loose ends to tie up here, but we have, as we've said, been preparing for heading at least to the fringes of that already. So we have some preparation done. We'll talk afterwards and we'll get you a more firm number.
Okay.
We just have some business we have to deal with the remote asset at the moment and figure out what we're doing with that.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. He looks over at Cathal and says, "You know how to contact me when I will get things prepared." Oh. If y'all will excuse me, I have paperwork I need to file.
Are you okay? You look like you need a hug
That's-
or something.
No,
Aw.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much, but no, I'm fine. I am fine. I will be fine.
Of course.
Sure.
He kind of like
In-
very
in-
quickly
insight check?
stands up. Go ahead.
Will he be fine? Okay, that's a 3, but my passive is 17.
He's appears pretty like, oh crap, this is really happening.
Ah. I mean, so I don't know if it's worse to have a dragon with a grudge that wants a favor or who doesn't want a favor.
Let's wait till he's
I mean,
gone
as
and
of now,
discuss.
I don't think we can really do much to affect this decision. We're supposed to only be like, so if the Azorius are like, hell no, that could be bad.
So we're waiting till he's gone before we start saying this, right?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he.
Yeah, wait till he's out the door. Wait till
He's
out
standing
Let's
at the
not
table.
have the let's not have the issue again.
He's like,
Where thought had gone to find a bedroom. We were waiting till he's gone, and then Ralph wanted to bring
Okay.
that up.
he like gathers up his paper. He leaves a copy of the papers for y'all to sign, and he heads on out the door. After a couple minutes, Eminestra comes back by. She picks up the mugs that y'all have emptied. If y'all drank it, if not, then she leaves your mug. She then heads on back downstairs towards the kitchen area. You assume.
Is Pan still in here?
Pan and Cathal are still in there. Pan is standing and looking over the map with a compass, and he seems to be plotting a route.
Hey Pan, I think I heard the other morning that you were picking up intel on other cases that might not have been reported to the lawmaster.
My team is looking into it. Yes, we were told that you were conducting an investigation, that we were to provide support. To date, we've confirmed several of the 4th Precinct cases, as well as several of the 6th Precinct cases. We have not been able to find records of bodies being transferred to the Golgari from the 2nd Precinct, though.
Huh. So if they're killed, their bodies aren't going underground?
By law, any dead body needs to be turned over to the Golgari for reclamation purposes, but we're not finding any records of bodies having been transferred to the Golgari. There is also reports, though I have not had them confirmed yet by my team, of evidence that has been logged, but not that has been logged, but is not actually physically present in inventory warehouses.
We did see some paperwork in the archives that were not signed by Commander Chaw, but they made it to the archives for intelligence.
I will have my team try and gain access to that to investigate those papers then. Thank you for the lead.
Since you're really busy now, do you think there's someone else that could give us a newspaper summary like you used to?
Oh, I read
Aw.
the paper this morning. Is there anything particular you were interested in?
Have you seen anything the last few days that looks out of ordinary for either Pearl Plaza or
The park across the street?
yeah.
I can tell you that a rededication ceremony is being planned for 3 weeks out, where the name will be changed. The Selesnya are taking it over entirely and plan to hold a sort of commune of sorts out there, though not with the nearby Vendari of the Apple Oak Monastery. It's unlikely to be a permanent fixation, but more of a welcome center, I think.
Oh. Are you aware of the events of last night where we're currently quadrant off a small patch?
Not particularly.
Okay, so it turned out Faraday and Rail had a lab there, and the lab wasn't so empty as was supposed. So if that's changing hands, we kind of need to figure out before it changed hands what we want to do about that.
I see. Well, you have 2 weeks.
Up to three?
Before, huh? What was
to
that?
3 weeks. 3 weeks to rededication, or is it 2 now?
Hold on. You have about 2 weeks before they will come in and begin the setup for the rededication. I expect construction and conversion to take about a week prior to the rededication ceremony.
All right.
Was there anything else from the news that you wish to know about?
Well, we had a bit of a hiccup on the rail lines. Was there anything about that come through recently?
The is it Subtram? I
Yes.
try not to ride that thing myself. I almost broke an arm once. Nothing in the
Somehow not surprised.
newspapers recently about that, though there has been reports that the Izzet have been field testing several new weapons in the grounds around their guild hall. The papers particularly warned about the possibility of danger and advised non-Izzet personnel to avoid the area if at all possible. Of interesting note, I found, though not tangentially connected to either of the events that you were asking about, there is a warning that several Rakdos cells have become active lately, and a possibility of a games is on the rise.
Oh dear.
Particularly since we are nearing key points of the year.
Well, I guess I was very lucky going to the is it guild hall yesterday when I did my pickup. I'll have to be more careful about that.
I would advise it. They mostly seem to be keeping their tests within a limited field. Definitely would not be doing so right on their doorstep, but try to avoid the area if at all possible. If you do not want to risk explosions, I suppose. Is there anything else you require of me?
No, thank you, Pan. I just wanted to touch base since it was a very busy morning yesterday and I didn't get to talk to you about that.
A pleasure. I will make contact with my team and pass on the information that you have given me. Thank you very much. And he kind of nods to the rest of y'all before heading back towards the stairs.
So looks
Actually,
like
no, he would be going to the library. Yeah, he's heading toward the library in the front.
looks like we have 2 weeks to solve this lab stuff, and if the gruel thing's 4 days in, we're probably going to eat up at least a week in the red waste.
Most likely.
We should probably resolve what we're doing before the Selesnya Conclave take over a vat of Simic experiments.
Do they actually know that that's there?
I don't think so. That's why we need to resolve what we're doing.
Right. So let's get to resolving.
Maybe we should see if the team can bring. Do we need to get any provisions for going to the red waste? Anyone need to get anything?
Are you asking Cathal or Amnestra or?
I'm asking them first to see if we need to be putting anything special together. I mean, I've got a lot of ration bars.
Let's see. I wish I had been able to take good
Because
berry.
I just tend to pick up 5 every time I go down.
Let's see. Rail does not currently have rations on him. Well, he has. Oh, never mind. He's got a week's rations on him. My mistake. So Rail's good for a week. Apparently, I'm better at planning than I thought. I was hoping to have some time to research in our headquarters, but that can wait.
I visited again and on the downtime, so I was up to 13 days of Golgari rations. I visited in downtime.
Yep.
Oh, and you know what? We still have all those Boros ones too, that whole box of them. So we should be good on like rations and stuff. Do we? We don't really need a tent if we're going to set up a magic structure.
Can we give the Boros stuff back?
We could pack some extra water.
Let's
We could get copies of the map made in case we accidentally get separated.
let's definitely do that.
So we want to get map copies. And we want to get some easy portable water.
Yes. I mean, technically, there's that wine bottle.
That doesn't seem the most professional thing for being on an escort.
No, but in case of emergency, it's useful.
Of course, yes.
But it would not be a bad thing to see if we can eventually get our hands, just as a longer-term shopping objective. If we can get a flask of everlasting water, it would be handy.
Everlasting or ever-flowing, Hendrik?
Ever-flowing. I don't have the item open in front of me. Cut me a break.
You know, I'm even second-guessing ever-flowing as well.
That doesn't show up.
Ever full?
No, that doesn't seem to be the thing either. It's like...
It's common, right?
It's a green.
No. Decanter of endless water.
That's it.
it.
We knew there was an
Look it
E
up.
in it.
Alright.
I mean, do we want to see if we can get our hands on one before we go, and then we just don't have to carry so much?
They are... I don't know how common that would be. Would
It's
that be
an-
the kind of thing we could...
It's a green, right?
Let me check it out. I was not looking at it in the right window.
That's a green.
I mean, they're
It's a green.
uncommon.
We could pack for today and then work on it, or we could
Yeah.
see.
I mean, y'all
again, just a
definitely
useful
have a
thing to
couple
have.
contacts in different places that are high magic that you may be able to, commission or see if they have one.
Probably not a we leave today kind of thing.
No, probably not.
We might want to look into that in the future, Cathal, getting one of those water things like they use when they're going into new territories to terraform and stuff.
She kind of Is that what you would like me to focus on?
I think for the trip, we're just going to carry more. I mean, I've got the bag, and anyway, Rail can just send you a note, and you can put more water in the storage, and then I can pull it out. So we should be pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that would work, right?
To the best of my knowledge, it should, yes.
Okay, I think we just need to get a couple extra wineskins or a barrel of water or something and put them in storage where we can get to them, like a small one that, the bag won't choke on too much.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the main thing is getting a couple map copies made for us to head out, and then deciding if we're going to make any moves with this lab thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're going to do any lab thing moves before we go, that could take a little time. Otherwise, I say we should just get our map copies, grab him, and get started so that we don't end up, just waiting around.
Right.
So, what kind of things can we do as far as the lab?
Give it to someone or investigate it more?
Okay, now I'm lost about what we're talking about. Because I thought we were prepping for a trip, and then it's like, well, we can hand it off to someone else. And I'm like, hand what off?
Oh, no, I was saying, since we only have 2 weeks to decide what to do with the Simic lab.
Oh, okay.
If we wanted to look at that before we left, or if we wanted to just have it under guard while we leave. And
Why don't we have people that are under our employ look at it? And like,
to the best of y'all knowledge, is still there.
Oh dear. How long have we left down there overnight?
Yeah,
Definitely
roughly
need to
5-6 hours. It's
From
getting close to
the-
6.
from
It's getting close
midnight.
to.
At this point.
Yeah.
It's getting close to 6 or 7 at this point.
Do we want to check in on the lab before we go? Or
no, just
Was it just Alm, or was it like?
no, it was and a number
and
of other
2 people, 2
and
others.
2 others, and the demi-cloaks. Which
Well, 2 is a number.
is generally how you reckon is what you have come to recognize as the quote-unquote uniform of your minions.
Please, not minions. It's like,
Henchmen.
Valued employee.
I don't like henchmen either. Because it's like we're trying to run a reasonable. It's like
Acceptable
Remember.
losses.
Oh,
Shirts.
stop it.
no.
I repeat, valued employees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Human resources.
Yes.
I'll let that
Non-expendable
go.
human resource.
Yeah.
The human resources.
That
Humanoid
is also useful.
resources.
Oh dear.
Mortal resources.
We do not discriminate against non-humanoid employees, right?
Our non-living ones, right?
Red shirts.
As long as they don't try to eat us.
all I'm look. We're getting distracted. It's like we're about to hit our break time.
Yeah. You want real distraction?
True.
I ran a game yesterday with zombie ogres throwing zombies at the players in the game, and I managed to peg a paladin with a zombie.
Don't use the
How
word
do you
peg.
make- How like actually throwing?
Yeah, they were picking up
Yes.
the zombie ogres were picking up the regular sized zombies and throwing them at the players.
I did
It's
not
like
realize
rock
you meant
throwing.
literally.
No, literally.
Sheesh.
And I managed to slam one of I managed to slam the paladin with the zombie.
Anyway,
So back to our
the
game.
thing is, yeah, it's like,
Oh, I love sending out to the
So
red
let me think.
wastes.
I mean, if we
what
want
else
to put
did
them on
we have to
research,
talk about? It's like, what were we talking about? Shit.
if we wanted to put any of our team doing research or check back in with or if we wanted to just grab this
Was
guy.
that not the plan from the start? The moment we handed it off to It's like that
They
was
were
what
just guarding it.
And
Well, I
then-
mean, we were securing it, so we would do that. It's like,
Okay.
Not so much that
comes
we do
by
it.
and sets out cups of tea.
Hey, sit down for a moment.
Hmm? Yes, ma'am.
So,
She
so
kind of
Cathal,
half laughs.
do we have resources for doing a little bit investigation on that lab while we're gone if we take this case?
What sort of investigation? I mean, do you want us to research how to replicate it, or?
Oh no. I mean, I don't think so. Fair dear, no, I don't think that's what we're doing.
No. That was the thing that I specifically did not want to happen.
We want to check how sentient they are, and if they're a danger, and what effect is keeping them in stasis, and how do we make sure it stays on?
I mean,
It's currently staying on, isn't it?
that's.
I mean, it's supposed to stay on with electricity, but my concern is if the electricity stops, what happens?
I don't. I mean, it would be. Couple different things could possibly happen. It's a very branching path. I see it very unlikely the electricity would just stop without some other catastrophe occurring. As for the, and she kind of like this is Amnestria you're talking to, right?
No, Cathal.
Oh, sorry, I was very confused there.
I said
Yeah.
Amnestra down because she's a researcher.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted her to stay in case they were doing research, so she'd know what we were concerned about.
Okay. Sorry. Cathal's like, I don't think I've ever really seen the power just go out without there being, an explosion or some big ass creature tearing its way through, well, the ass of the town. As for what you have described to me, sounds like some sort of growth chamber pod. You may be best served talking to an actual Simic. No offense, fair dear.
Do we want to do that errand before we leave? So
Yes. Just
okay.
we need to set this up to be researched before we leave. It's like, out of character. This is XCOM. Come on.
I mean,
Fair dear, do you want to try to get us an audience with someone?
I could try.
I mean, you're not going to try to handle it all yourself as like Simic secret things, right?
It's just a question of
That silence is very reassuring.
Okay, so the
Flag, don't
issue
worry
is
about
that who do I talk to? Because right now I kind of have
a lab
very
and a director.
limited number of people that I trust.
But you've been
within
with
the
them
Simic
for years.
realm.
Literally years.
There's very
Two.
few people that I trust within the Simic to
Well, I mean,
asking questions about it can be very difficult.
Maybe we can discuss it without discussing where it's at. And just discuss the general principles of we think is going on. And go from there.
Sure.
I mean, of the people you know, the majority of them are technicians, or just, general like, here, take this pill, stand in this corner, let me know if the wall turns blue. The
Okay.
only higher up that you currently know is Dr. Verith. Yeah, the director of the Black Storm Asylum now.
Which you have not told anyone where your new lab is either.
That they have not.
Oh my god, Fairdear's keeping more secrets than Rail.
Yes, I know.
Hey.
Don't
The
tell it,
secrets-
Rail, to keep more secrets.
The secrets Rail is keeping are the secrets you don't know about.
Ooh. So,
Of course
Fair-
we don't know
Fair
about
Deer,
them. That's why they're secrets.
you think
Exactly.
since we're trying to leave soon, you'd be able to get us a soon audience? Just to kind of see where things are at before we go? I mean, we could be gone for over a week, and we only have 2 weeks to resolve it. I mean, I think otherwise the end result is we'll have to turn it over to Selesnya because they're the ones taking over the land.
So, Griggum, what do you think Selesnya's reaction would be?
Real quick before you answer that, Gregum, could I have you make me a history check?
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I do that? 13?
13. They're kind of an open secret at this point. You are aware of a order within the Selesnya Guild known as the Quiet Men. A group of assassins specifically dedicated to Matt Selesnya who are as needed dispatched to silence subversive voices within the Selesnyan Conclave, as well as outside actors who are deemed detrimental to the Enclave.
I don't think they're gonna react well.
So, I mean, talking and finding out maybe if there's someone that could analyze how sentient they are and how dangerous they are from within the Simic without totally giving up control of the site might be our best
I feel
bet.
that the site should be scrubbed before the Selesnya has their full hands on it. It's like,
So-
I think that's already kind of been done, except for the.
So what
Okay, so
Fair
cards
Deer
on
to
the
give us a
table.
meeting. Oh, okay, go
Cards on
ahead.
the table. My objective is that these humanoids could still be sentient beings who wish to live a relatively normal life, if possible. If I give them to the Simic, the experiments will just continue. If I give them
My
to
problem is
Selesnya, what my assumption is that they'll be as freaks or something like that. So
I mean,
All right.
couldn't it be possible that they would find normal working positions within the Simic? I mean, everyone works for someone, right?
I mean, it is possible. I guess. I guess backing up.
oh, sweet summer
It's
child.
not about the Simic. It's about who's in charge of it. Because obviously, we kind of have some issues with people going beyond the.
Look, what
Hall
we're
of the
saying is that
Guild.
we're sitting on a powder keg.
We are.
I mean, if it turns out that they, don't have regular humanoid intelligence, are they super vicious or something? I mean, that's kind of a dead end to us being able to be involved anyway. So I think getting at that evaluation is our first step.
That's not false.
And I mean,
There's only one person that would know that, possibly a few others if we know who was directly responsible for that.
if that one sad spike monster came from one of those tubes and it nearly took us out with one, I'm very concerned what happens if a breach happens and 11 of them get out.
Yeah, especially since they're all depressed in that tank. It's like,
I only
Press?
touched one tank,
Say that
Yeah.
again?
and it was lonely,
Well,
not
I mean,
depressed.
yeah, it's like, I mean, I was depressed. But touching that tank was
Oh, are you
not a good
okay?
feeling. It's like,
Is that why you drink so much?
He's not
Well,
constantly touching
now,
the thing.
yes, I'm drinking for that.
So the
But
tank
it's like,
made you lonely?
well, now that you mention it, yeah, I did feel kind of lonely.
Are they supposed to do that, Fair Dear? Oh wait, you worked there too, Rail. Are they supposed to do that, Rail?
They're not, so far as I know. I mean, Rail didn't even know
I'm
about
pretty
those
sure
things,
that
right?
was outside of our purview, correct?
So we need a technician to say what's going on with the machines too? And then we need someone that can evaluate sentience? You
Look,
said you knew technicians, right?
He's met technicians when he's like come in and they're like, hold still, we need to take this blood. Okay, run as fast as you can on this treadmill. How long can you hold your breath? It's not been like, hey, let's go have a beer after this, kind of. No.
Not with the current
I think
one.
you need to
Yeah.
get us an audience. Maybe. Maybe we can take them down there blindfolded and they won't know where they're at.
Rail, honestly, you probably are better at knowing technicians than I do at this point.
It's not Simic anymore, Fair Dear.
Yeah, I am no longer in the
Could
Simics.
give me some names.
That bridge has been burned.
I mean,
I'm worried about him going to the meeting at all. It's probably fine, though. I'm not Simic and I'd be going.
it's probably fine.
Probably fine.
Probably fine.
Having a meeting with the Simic.
What?
What we
That's
need
what we need
is
to.
what we need is some Simic technicians. Rail, maybe you know some names I don't.
Does Rail? know
Rail
any
was a
names?
researcher. Generally, Rail's day was spent reading books, writing proposals, and then handing off that work to other researchers, which would then get given to the director, who would then assign it to technicians.
You know who's really good with machines? Spanner.
that
That was my plan A, so someone's supposed to argue with me.
No, no. That's not going to work at all. Period.
That. Yeah, no.
Spanner is about elemental and boom type things, not genetics and emotions.
That's the end of the scientists that I know, other than Rail and Fair Dear.
You know one or two others. Hold on.
I don't think I do.
Yeah,
Like
you've
Maine!
met. I know you've
Where's
met
that
at least.
name come up?
Maine is not a scientist. Maine is a drugged up troll who distills weird stuff.
Okay, let's put it this way. If 11 creatures get out at once while we're investigating, I wouldn't mind having Maine there, but not as a scientist.
As someone to cook us up before we head in. No, I'm kidding.
No, as someone to grab us all and go up the flight.
Let's see, what was her name? Not Rio. Kimster.
So,
Kimster Cottrell. You
What?
met her. She's the one that gave you the token.
Yeah, the one that ended up not doing what it was supposed to. I'm sure we have a great relationship there, but yes, I guess that is a scientist we know.
It could.
Wait,
Uh,
it didn't end up do what it was supposed to? It was like,
It wasn't used like it was supposed to.
yeah.
okay, so I have a honest question.
Mhm.
Am I the only one that actually has any interest in keeping these guys alive for the time being?
For the time being,
I am
yes.
undecided.
End result, if we can save them, sure. If not, I'm all for killing them. It's like
I'm
putting them out of their
not.
misery.
It actually has a thing about gratuitous death that she doesn't like.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. And it's like, I'm a goblin. It's like, and this isn't me. This isn't me as a representative of the conclave. This is me speaking as someone who's generally pragmatic and also realized how fucked up some of our other guilds are. It's like, and
Yeah,
I just want to know if they're
sure.
if they're sentient and able to.
If they want to live and are not a danger, sure, yes, we'll do our best to save them. It's like, if they aren't, and just waving his staff around. I was like, "Yo."
I mean, if
I
they aren't,
like
the best way would be to just put some poison in the chambers, right? Not to
Like-
pop them on the head.
if you
they
if you
aren't
don't want to
going-
kill them, I'll do it gladly. Just give me I'll get a hammer.
No,
No. If we want to dispose of them, then we are turning them over to a guild to do it correctly.
This is true.
I think
but you
that
don't have any
disposal is a
control
little
over the
bit
guild would
of a-
dispose of them or not, though. Just to say.
Yeah.
Just to say, you don't like if you were not wanting them to be experiments because they were dangerous. You don't know that turning them over to a guild would mean they were disposed of.
I love
I
giving
have-
out moral quandaries.
And Ingrid pulls out her mushroom pouch. I have poison mushrooms. They have a nutrient bath.
Some days it doesn't pay to be a non-murder hoer.
If we have to do this, let's see if we can get stuff in the nutrient bath. But let's see if they're sentient first. I would really like to see if they're sentient.
I would like to see that they're not fucked up. That's all I'm going to ask. That's all I pray for.
Do we have a means of assessing the nutrient bath without like opening anything? Like, is there a port or something where we could get a sample of it?
Maybe you didn't do a very in-depth inspection of the mechanics of the tubes. Y'all were kind of distracted by the bodies floating within them.
Who can tell us if they're sentient
As well
and
as
able to negotiate? Would we need someone with mind magic or someone with medical knowledge?
Yeah,
I mean,
honestly,
there's a
somebody
couple
that could
different
like
ways that could go.
communicate telepathically.
Oh, you mean
That-
we could see if Watcher could talk to him? I didn't even think of that. I was so
so
tired.
1:00.
Sadly, I did not.
That was Tux, the player, hitting himself on the forehead.
Make
Oh,
a...
I thought you were saying the Watcher thing out loud.
Okay, so real quick before we go to break, I want to have Ingrid and Fairdeer make a history check for me to see if you remember something specific that happened.
Oop, hey,
I didn't use guidance since I figured it wasn't a situation we knew was coming, but
Mhm.
I don't know if I can use guidance or not.
I mean, if you want to, I'm fine with it. I mean, you
Okay,
took the ability to use it, so
18.
what teen?
18.
18. You have encountered another being that is capable of creating a seemingly mental construct to facilitate communications.
The pet horror? No, wait.
No. He's pretty friendly to you.
He was a Dimir agent, wasn't he?
AI? I have actually had a few. I'm trying to think which thing you're talking about. We
Ashum.
talked
Part of
about
it, yeah, I was gonna say there was one dude that debriefed us in our dreams, no, or briefed us in our dreams, right? Remember? And it's like,
Yeah, he talked to y'all. He put y'all to sleep through a hidden gas canister and then communicated with y'all through a mass stream.
so he technically could, like, the
So we could go to
Dimir-
Ashum.
Yeah.
that would be our favor, though.
So we have a couple options for talking to him telepathically. I mean, Watcher could try, or we could go by
That's
the
good.
post office.
Let's assign someone to talk to him about it while we do our mission.
I think we'd have to talk to Ashum directly.
Well,
He's only
the
like
thing
an
is
hour
that-
from here.
Shit.
To talk to Ashum, remember, that would probably be our one request.
I mean, unless he just wanted
okay.
info
I mean,
on
if
the
you-
creatures and it would be a fair trade. I
Like-
don't know.
Like, again, this is important, and I don't want to sit here and talk about this again for 5 sessions straight.
I do.
So it's like, so especially since we have a deadline on that. It's like, so we're going to have to make compromises, people. It's like,
So what's your
I
plan,
think
Greg?
we should.
So what's your plan then, Gregum?
we're going to get someone to mind read these fuckers. And it's like,
All right.
we're going to
so-
see how dangerous they are. It's like, if they are stable enough people, yes, sure. we'll do our best to rescue them. If they are not, it's like, then we have to write them off as monsters, and we have to find a way of disposing them so that no one else creates more of these fuckers from the scraps of
Do we
this
want
thing.
to
It's like,
bring
after which we need to follow after the problem of someone having the main research notes and keep them from creating the successful experiments. And it's like,
Yeah, I kind of feel like maybe it would be pretty easy just to have Watcher with us and just send a couple of images and see how they respond.
Yeah, they might be asleep, but we can try.
they cannot respond to Watcher. It's like,
Why not?
because they're in a coma. It's like,
So we need someone that can go to like.
yeah, because Watcher is a surface level, like, as far as I can tell, like,
So did you want
telepath.
us to talk to Ashum directly? Because I don't think our team has any experience with him.
That's not the thing. It's like, we just have to give him a note. We have to pass on a message. Hey, we're calling in that favor. And, it's like, and
Do
then
you
he'll
want
meet
to
up with
officially
us.
use
It's
the
like,
favor?
unless he says no charge, yeah, we're probably going to have to use that favor. It's like, again,
Okay.
this is too important to not have to start pulling strings. It's like,
So
because we're talking doomsday level, like, threats here. It's like,
Potentially.
So I
and
need to.
potentially it's too much.
So I need to go and cackle madly for about 10 to 15 minutes. So we're going to go on break real quick. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes, quick as we can, to continue this. Thank you, everyone, for joining us so far for this episode of the bonus roll. I know we were a little slow to pick up, but I hope y'all have been
And
enjoying
we're
it.
back to this wheel again. It's like, we're sorry that we've hopped back
If you
on
would
this back.
take information
We are-
about the creatures and stuff for it, like first.
Oh,
We're sorry that we've hopped back on this bicycle again. It's like, and started going around the circle. Like, because really, this should have been solved the very session we came across it.
there's no part
But
of
no.
I love that y'all. I need to give y'all more moral quandaries, is what this is telling me. Because y'all have been role playing for like half
I
an
know.
hour. Like
Oh,
I've just been
I know,
sitting here
I
going
know.
like, I've been singing Magnum Bullets to myself.
I love that
The
song.
problem here, though, I mean, I just want to know, out of character. It's like,
Mhm.
like, if you yourselves came across this situation, what would you do?
Hey, chat.
If I personally
were in
came
this
across
situation?
situation,
Yeah, it's
tricky.
like, because like, in character and out of character, I have a lot of reasons why I just want to burn it to the ground. It's like, and it's mostly to the fact that this is too fucked up, even for the people having been experimented on. I don't think anyone should have to live on after the fact. It's like,
Aha.
I mean,
But-
I would
Personally, I'm
position a
way
squadron
against.
of zombies and then wake one up to question it.
Actually, I'm thinking what I should have done
Hmm.
was prepared detect thoughts today.
yeah, because the thing here is
You
that,
don't
like,
prepare spells.
I understand
of
in
the 18.
character.
Huh?
Arcane
Don't
tricksters don't
prepare
prepare
spells.
spells.
Right. But okay. So
Oh, right. You're a
as far as
cleric.
I know, all of my cleric spells, yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm still
Because
primarily
the
a cleric,
reason I'm
but also an
asking
arcane trickster.
I don't
but
think about you as
the
a
reason
cleric.
I-
I think about you as a rogue.
But
He
anyway,
is primarily a cleric.
the reason I asked out of character thoughts, because in character I realize at least two of you have invested interest in the research, and it's like, because it was still your lab,
Okay.
and one of you is that weird, hey, we're all about life and death, and I'm going to consider this quandary very closely. It's like,
Oh, I would
like,
totally.
you have there's a lot of in character reasons for you to say no.
Alive or dead, they'd be going with Ingrid.
No,
I mean,
That would be what
honestly-
would be happening. I just would need to see if it would be alive or dead.
I mean, it changed a little bit for Rail when I don't remember who it was who said it. Did Griggum say that he had basically been getting the creature's thoughts, emotions, whatever?
Emotion
You know,
from touching the
I
empty
mean, it was
tube.
an empty tank,
Empty.
and there
We
was
don't know.
motion coming
Oh,
through
okay,
it. And
okay.
like,
Yeah,
there
I
was
mean,
emotion coming through it, so it was very likely that the tube was feeding it a particular or exposing it to a singular emotion, like overwhelmingly so. Like, I only touched the glass. I didn't go diving into it. I touched it, and I was like, oh.
All right. So yeah, if
So are we on break yet?
Yeah, I wanted to let that all out because that was really
Okay.
good and fun for me, but I'm going to put us on intermission starting now.
Okay.
on that long, I just grabbed a protein bar.
Audio, radio killed the video star. Wait, no, that's not right. We're back. I'm sleepy.
Aw.
Yes,
I mean-
well, incessant dreams of drowning in your own teeth as they fall endlessly from your mouth. It leads to some rough nights.
Yeah.
So, welcome back to the second half of the bonus roll where I exclusively talk about my constant nightmares. No, we're going to play some more D&D.
Alrighty.
We left off with y'all revisiting the discussion on the dilemma y'all have involving the guys in the chamber.
Deciding if we're getting the postal people involved.
Which my vote is yes because of the gravity of the situation. It's like we really should try and call that favor in for this. It's like
I think we need to walk over and talk to him in person then.
we don't have time to talk to him in person. We're in the middle of a job. It's like
I mean, he's like a tram ride away, so like 15 minutes away? How far is he away?
An hour walk, 15-minute ride.
together. It's or just separately. It's like is it really an hour 15 minutes total to get to him? It's like,
No, like
Okay.
no, an hour walk
Like,
or a 15-minute ride.
if we were
Sorry.
walking, yeah, okay. I was like, man, it's like these trams don't do shit. But yeah, no, I can get behind that. It's like,
Sorry, I thought when you said
Like-
all together, you meant are we all going or is it just one person? I was like,
yeah,
no, I'm not awake.
Yeah,
It's probably best if we're cashing in the favor if we all go in, so he knows it's, authorized.
All of us.
Because before we've asked, that all of us authorize if we use our favor. So,
I mean, some of us used our favors already, right?
no, there's only one group favor.
There's one group favor, but you all have a question, with the exception of Opal.
So we'd be using our only favor. But that's
I
okay.
get it. But yeah, it's like
That's for a good
Like-
cause.
well, I mean, more than just a good cause. This is for like an attempt to avert disaster. It's like,
Yeah.
and who knows? We might learn another step of some more information we need to go after this guy. It's like,
I think as part of the favor, any information they dig up on the procedures and the stuff should be included in delivering that to us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like not just the action and the effect, but what they find out with it so that we can use
because
that.
someone right now is trying to play God, but the wrong kind of God. It's like because
So,
no
Subject-
lies. At least 4 different guilds that are trying to play God here.
So Subtram?
Yes. it's like-
Subtram.
So over
With
the
one-
course of y'all basically debating this for roughly an hour, it's about 8, 9 in the morning at this point. Amnestra and Cathal have basically left y'all to your decision-making process. So y'all are in the main hall by yourself. If y'all want to head out to the tram, it's a short little, like, quick jaunt over to the nearest substation, and then it'll be a 15-minute ride on the subtram towards the postal hub. Is there anything y'all wanted to accomplish on the way there?
Well, we talked to Cathal about putting some water in the safe so we can get it for our trip. So
yes, she is going to deal with
that's a
that.
trip prep. I didn't have anything on the way. Oh, I did have something on the way. If we're near it.
I don't know what it is. So.
The gym person.
Uh,
buy that pearl. But if we're not near it, I don't have it.
The kind cut?
Yes.
It is not terribly far from the subtram station exit. Because y'all exit fairly close to the Orzhov territories. And it's at the edge of those.
Okay. I do have one thing to grab for our trip, which is I want to get my own pearl. So, just we'll run by there on the way. Is that cool?
Go for it. Like I'm not a spellcaster. I don't like.
Okay.
So like, if it's important to you, then yes, do it. It's like.
Okay. So y'all find your way to the familiar nearby subtram station. The Is It Ticket Master is there. He records. Oh, actually, no. You have your own subtram station. You don't even have to go to the public one if you don't want to. You just have to. Are y'all going to the public one, or are you having Cathal call you a tram?
Usually with all, there's a 15-minute wait for the train to get there.
Because they have to clear the track and reroute someone to one to y'all.
So it's actually quicker to go to the other one, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. And also, I think we should minimize how much we use our own personal tram station for the sake of, hold on.
Expense.
And if we're going to be waiting, if we're going to be waiting, then I think before we. Oh, never mind.
It takes an hour.
1 hour.
Meryl,
Later.
Yeah.
can you put your
Later.
mic closer to your mouth?
Sorry. Was that me you were talking to?
Put your mic within your mouth. Consume your mic.
Consume
all media.
Oh, that's a number
the
Okay,
media.
A number
Just put
2
my
with
directly
fries.
in my mouth.
Subtram and the kind cut.
All right. Y'all go to the local subtram station. It's actually kind of nice how they all seem to be relatively similar. Food carts offer quick meals for those people traveling. Book goblins offer entertainment for longer trips. The Is It Ticketmaster takes your information on your destination. No one quite knows what they do with this information, but y'all are giving your little tokens. The subtram arrives pretty quickly. Y'all depart and arrive at the northern part of the Barrow Hill neighborhood, just north of the Orzhov territories. Orzhov have basically gone, we do not allow... Wow, that gave me like a little bit of seasickness there, hon. Have basically gone, we do not allow subtrams in our area, so that people are forced to use the Orzhov cart system.
Yeah, I remember that.
You're about maybe 2 blocks away from the kind cut. And maybe a 15-minute walk away from the postal hub at this point. So you're proceeding to the kind cut. The small gem store looks like it's taken a little bit of damage over the past 6 months that had then been repaired, and may have something to do with the gruel sweeping through and destroying large swaths of the area. As such, there is some fairly new construction. The sign that hangs from the door now is a very simple stylized gem with a knife cutting into it. There's a small chime as you enter, and a middle-aged looking human man looks up from the desk counter as you come. Yes, how may I help you?
And is it the same person from before?
Make a history roll. It's been half a year.
Okay. I did not know it's a 1. Okay.
You
Plus
don't
whatever. It's still going to
You
be
got
a little.
no idea.
Hi, I'm looking for something in more raw materials, but a high quality of pearl, perhaps?
Do you have a particular gradient, or is this to match a dress or jewelry?
It's for a special necklace. I was thinking a traditional white one would be fine, but it's fine if it's another color. It's more the cut I'm concerned about later. So I want a good raw one with good features and enough size that it can be worked on. Would I let him know what price range? Probably.
Probably should let him know what you're looking for.
He is looking at you very confused. Most pearls don't. I mean, and he goes and he gets out a tray, and there are a number of pearls on it. He sets it down from him, and he holds up what looks like a basic white pearl. This is the standard pearl that most people think of. It generally is harvested from mollusks. You need to note the uniformity color as well as the spherical shape. And he pulls out a kind of lumpy looking greenish white one. So this one is slightly malformed, but and has a unappealing color. These are both raw, unworked pearls. Generally, when you have a pearl that you're using for jewelry, you are using it either as a centerpiece, wherein it will need to be set in a clasp, or as a decorative add-on, in which case you will need to likely have a hole drilled through it so that you can run a chain.
More of a decorative centerpiece and fairly fancy. It may become an arcane jewelry.
I see. He puts that down, picks it up, puts it goes over to his little stack of books, sorts through and pulls out a kind of a plain brown ledger, looks like, and starts flipping through the pages. It's like, I do not carry anything of arcane quality in stock. I will have to requisition it from my personal vault. I have a white pearl. It is roughly 6.5 centimeters in diameter. It would be 150 gold. Yes, roughly that size. That should be adequate for most arcane usages.
I mean, I'd have to see it to finalize, of course, but that sounds a lot like what I'd be looking for. Maybe even overkill, but definitely within the realm of what I would be looking for.
He takes a piece of paper, passes it to you. Write down your name and address. I will have a courier bring it by for inspection, and then we can begin negotiation.
We might be on a trip out of town. Could I just come back here within a few days?
I should be able to procure a courier and have it brought by within, say, 5 hours? It's just early morning and my boy hasn't shown up yet.
Is that okay, group, if we try to meet back then? Since we have to get our other travel preparations?
I mean, it'll depend on when the client wanted to leave. It's like,
if you're talking about the Vedalken, he's basically he's in no rush. He does not want to be doing this.
Oh,
right.
he's ready whenever.
Then go ahead. Go ahead. He's like,
Yes, that would work.
So, all right. They should be sometime within an hour or two after the lunch hour. He basically gave you a window of like somewhere between 12 to 2.
Okay.
So, he will come by and he will handle any negotiations and accept payment if you decide to purchase the pearl. And he
Okay.
takes the information and writes it down in a ledger. And so, will you be okay with us sending you any information about other potential arcane use items that we may acquire?
Well, perhaps if you find a good ruby, but I probably will need to wait a while before other purchases. Just, this is going to take some time and focus to work on this one.
Certainly, certainly. Is that he adds your information to like a little ledger book and closes it. Take care.
Yep. Ingrid just subscribed to a mailing list.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right.
Okay, so off to Ash.
All right. After a quick stop at the Kind Cut, y'all proceed on up to the mail hub. As per the normal situation at the mail hub, it seems fairly busy, but not excessively so. Like, it's just busy enough to look like, hey, we don't want to linger around here for a while, there's a lot going on. But not so busy as to run people away with like, oh, this is too long of a line. It seems that perfect balance of just busy enough to be unremarkable. Y'all end up waiting in line about not even 5 minutes, just long enough to realize that you're waiting in line before you approach the desk. The same woman that y'all have dealt with previously is there. The woman with semi-dark skin, short hair. She's wearing a pair of glasses today that y'all have not seen her wear previously. And she looks and says, your group is assigned to Master Bokai, yes?
Yes.
Okay, sorry, it's been a while. She pulls out some papers and gestures to the left-hand door. It's like, just through the door, just to the left, third door down.
So heading. We have Mavana with us, right?
She's trailing behind.
She should be, yeah.
Okay, so we have Mavana today.
Yeah,
Okay.
generally, unless you make a specific reason to keep her from following you, I assume that she is going to be following you, just like how I assume if Faradir doesn't say anything about it, Kay is following him.
So we have Kay and Mavana.
Which is
with us.
a good point.
I'm sorry, I didn't understand any of that. What I need you to do is put your microphone in your mouth, Faradir, and consume your microphone. I've been missing Night Vale, apparently.
Gay scritches because he is a good boy.
You should really talk to him more about healing people during battles, though, Faradir.
So is my mic okay?
Yeah,
Is it
no,
just
I can
low?
hear. Yeah, you were just a little low. Y'all proceed through the door into the long-looking hallway. There are figures standing between several of the doors in heavy blue-black cloaks with the hoods pulled up, shadows obscuring their face. Walking down the hallway to the third door, you open it up, and it's the familiar office that y'all have been to a couple times before. A number of chairs out there for each of y'all, including one for Mavana, and a small doggy bed for Kay to lounge in.
Like this guy.
Oh.
Is he at the desk already?
No one is in the room.
Sit down and take a chair.
Mavana kind
Yeah,
of
I'm
What are
gonna
you
looks.
start
taking it to?
dozing.
One time,
Sorry,
please.
felt the need to. I felt the need to ask. It's dumb. Where are you taking it to?
All right. What did you say? What was Grickham doing?
I'm going to try to intentionally doze off. It's like
Okay.
because I figure that's his style, and it's like to contact us while we're dozing. It's like,
You find it
is not-
weirdly hard to get dozy. Like you do your whole like close my eyes, go to sleep, count it, and it's like it just feels weird. Mavana looks around awkwardly and kind of drags her chair a little bit closer to Rails and a little farther back, and then sits down so that she's not like in the front line with the rest of y'all. About maybe 5 minutes after y'all are all seated, the door opens and Ashum walks in. If you do not remember, let me give y'all a description because it's been a while since y'all have actually interacted with Ashum. Da 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 da. He is common in appearance with auburn hair, dark gray eyes. His hair is actually starting to look a little long, like he's put off getting a haircut. He's wearing a leather bracelet and carries a dagger on his hip. He has a slight smile, and he's carrying some papers with him as he settles down into his seat. And so, hello. It's been a while since I've seen y'all around here. The issues with the gruel seem to have been dealt with rather handily. Congratulations are in order, from what I understand.
Didn't do it alone, but we helped.
He takes a note.
Are we asleep somewhere this time?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Booey. Well, did you want to lead this one, Grickham, or do you want me to tell him?
you're like, look. I'm a goblin. You're a beautiful woman. It's like, you lead it. And it's like, please. It's like,
Your friend is most observant.
Aw, thank you, Ashum. Okay, so maybe Fairdeer and Rill were working somewhere that we found a problem, and we may need to cash in our favor for some logistics and assistance.
I see. Well, he starts flipping through the papers. So this has nothing to do with the other visitor. Okay. Alright, that's fine. He closes the files and sets it aside and starts sorting through another couple and then pulls out. Alright, I was under the impression that Master Corvino had returned to the Orzhov.
Unfinished business? Just tying up loose ends?
Well then, and he makes a couple more notes. What can we of the Postal Service do for you?
Well, you seem to be good at contacting unconscious beings. It seems that their old lab has some beings in stasis, and we were hoping we could get an analysis of what their mental state was and the equipment being used on them so that we could figure out the safety of bringing said beings out of stasis ever.
He takes a pen and taps it firmly on the desk a few times. I do not suppose it would be possible to bring these persons here.
Probably not. They're plugged into
They're
some fairly
Also-
heavy-duty machinery.
Also,
yeah,
there
all
will be a
difficult.
significant amount of danger inherent in that. We don't really know what their physical capabilities are if they were to be revived, and we're afraid that it could cause a massive problem for the.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
The big thing is that overall, we are in need of secrecy. It's like on this matter. It's like
He writes down.
Yeah,
several-
there's
we're
some-
not
He is writing
because
furiously in his papers, like while y'all are talking. Just so y'all know.
because this definitely is a big problem for even the guilds. It's like, and we just happen to stumble across it. It's like, which is
It is
a
a
big problem. It's like,
Moment is a bit of a gray area between which jurisdiction it would be. So there's an opening to settle it without bringing it into jurisdiction if it's dangerous.
In some way, okay. So the issue basically is that this could potentially be a problem, and we're hesitant to contact our various host guilds because of their reaction and possibly misusing or abusing
Yeah.
If they're
this.
intelligent, then great.
Yeah, like,
If not,
now,
then
don't get us
Yeah.
wrong. It's like, it's not like we're flat out, hey, there's only one guild we can take this to. It's the fact that the matter is that we need information, and unfortunately, your guild is definitely like one to get information, regardless of the other guilds. It's like,
Well, I would feel that that is very fortunate for both myself and you.
Yeah.
And he like picks up paper.
yes, it's like,
I will return shortly. He takes the papers and exits through the door, closing it behind him. There's like a second, he comes back, remain here. And then he closes the door again.
oh dear. And in the meantime, Rail is going to be just checking exits.
There is
There's
one
only
door.
one exit. It's the door. Yeah.
What you looking around for, Ariel?
Just out of habit. So,
We don't even know if we're conscious in here, though.
this is true.
I'm not gonna worry about it.
Ivana,
I feel
pinch me.
like if the guild's gonna do something, they're just gonna do it. I don't think there's a whole lot we as individuals can do to stop it. So
Stop what?
exactly.
No,
Ivana looks up
hold on,
as someone
hold on.
says her name.
Look, all I'm saying is that I kind of zoned out there, so I missed the first part of your sentence. It's like,
Don't worry about it. I'm not
No,
worried about it.
please, out of character, please, I missed it.
First part of my sentence.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like,
Okay. Basically, I'm saying that if the guild as a whole wanted to do something to us over this research, there's not a whole lot that we can do right now to stop it. So there's no point worrying about
We
it.
haven't done anything yet, though. So that's
I'm doing
good.
something right now.
Mavana looks up as you said her name, Rail.
Just Mavana, pinch me if you would.
If you insist, and she kind of reaches out and just barely pinches like your cheek. It's not. It doesn't even actually hurt. It's just like a.
Mavana following orders.
She looks very uncomfortable.
Oh dear.
It doesn't
more of a-
hurt.
It's more of a turn of phrase thing to see, but also to see if we're awake. But I don't know that that would work.
No, but it was worth
Well,
a try.
I'm willing to try, and I hop off of my seat, walk over to Rail, like, Here.
Face.
Okay, you know what? Invisible mage hand. Pinch the goblin.
Where are you
I'm
pinching
going to
him?
respond by just bopping him on the side of the head with the staff.
Wait. No.
I'm so glad that we're not worrying about moral quandary so that we can spend more time role playing necessary scenes such as this.
Wow.
I don't know. You kind of Ivana.
Yeah, I was about to say, roll me a d20 because you're not being serious about this.
Yeah, no, it's. I'm going to use my special D20.
Which one of us roll?
Griggum.
Okay.
Alrighty. It's like, here we go. Just a D20, nothing to additive. It's like,
No, you're not going like all out or anything like that. You're just like bapping.
I certainly hope not.
15.
15. As you like swing the staff to like go like this, Mavana's arm and shoulder just intersect with it.
So I then looked to Mavana, who's like, did you feel that? I was like,
No.
I think Ivana didn't wake up, so we're probably awake. But are at least not able to be woke up by this means.
well,
I
she
think
also
we were
said she
helping
didn't feel
test
that. I was like,
Ivana.
But she's wearing heavy armor.
but it's a magical staff. No, I'm kidding.
It's
He was just
magical
trying to
armor.
gloss it over by like Mavana was part of the
fair
test.
Point. Fair point. It's like, so yeah, basically, we're testing to see if we're feeling anything right now. It's like, and usually, sharper pain is a good indicator. It's like, not like oh, you've caved my skull in, but
What's your AC?
my AC is 16.
She slaps you across the face.
I go
Ooh.
sprawling. Did I feel that?
Did you feel
You
that?
don't need to go quite that hard.
Like, out of character.
She just went to you. She wasn't doing it to hurt you or not to injure you. She wasn't doing it to injure you.
Yeah.
I should be more
right, so-
precise.
Hopefully, she avoided the ear. Pretty hard for a
It
goblin,
would be
actually.
at most like 1 point bludgeoning because she's wearing metal gloves.
Okay, so it was certainly notable. It's like, and it's like, and again, I am being tossed about mostly because that's what Griggum is doing. Not so much that it hit that hard, but definitely was, drunken master
I
flinging
definitely
myself
would
around.
imagine him doing a Jackie Chan cell.
Yeah, she didn't add her plus
Yeah.
5 strength to that. Yeah, she didn't add her plus 5.
I just want to imagine Griggum doing the arm flailing Jackie Chan.
Yeah.
He takes 10 steps back.
Yeah, no, that was 1 point of bludgeoning damage. She has plus 5 to her strength, so it could have been 6 from the strike.
Dang.
I would have just asked my question while we're here, but Mavana's been helping me with my question anyway.
She
Listen,
looks
Mavana.
genuinely
What
confused.
question is that?
I'm
Oh, just
sorry?
stuff about family history. Oh, Ashum was going to do a research question, and I don't know. I only need half of it now, so I'm
At
going
the
to wait
mention
and see.
of, seemingly at the mention of it, the door comes open, opens up, and Ashum comes back in, closing it behind him. He sighs, sits down on the desk. So, you have done a great deal of good for both myself, this guild, and Ravnica as a whole. As such, your request for assistance has been approved. Conditionally.
And Griggum will pick himself up off the floor. Yes?
Please return
Wow.
to this place an hour before sunset.
Time is it now?
It's about
Out of
2.
character.
Less than an hour before sunset. I don't know.
No, it's about.
To
Let's
the
see.
postal center or to the place that's afflicted?
Here. Please return here an hour before sunset, which would be about 5-ish.
Okay, I think that means we're going on our other trip tomorrow, Griggum.
Fair enough.
By me.
The current time is something like noon, around noon, maybe?
Oh, you were making it funny.
I was?
Well, thank you, Ashum. We will do that.
Please note, the individual that will be assisting you has certain requirements. One is that you do not look directly at his face, you do not attempt to peer under his hood, you do not attempt to make physical contact with him in any way, you avoid thinking loudly.
So as not looking at his face, he'll have the hood, so that'll be kind of covered by that.
Mm-hmm.
And how do we know loudly?
Could we come up with like a code phrase or something so that we know it's him because we've ran into problems of misidentification in the past?
You will know it is him.
Okay. Second question.
Mm-hmm.
It's loud thoughts.
Do your best.
I suggest we minimize our use of the
I'll try not to have any coffee or anything before he comes.
He's please understand that we do not do this lightly. We are doing this in deference to the favor that you are owed and to recognition that y'all have done a good deal for us and the city.
and quite frankly, this is a very serious situation. I was like, we don't call on this flavor. We don't call on this flavor. We don't call on this favor lightly. It's like,
Yes, and also we would like to recognize your help in helping us in getting to Ravnica. I'd like to give our continued thanks for this arrangement.
I definitely appreciate that. Please keep me out of the spotlight as much as
Of
possible.
course.
Speaking of which, arrive here an hour before sunset. You will have an hour to converse with the individual. Y'all will then proceed as quickly as possible to your locale via foot, avoiding the Orzhov area as much as possible. After y'all have finished, the individual will depart on their own after having given you the information that you request. Do not attempt to follow him. Do not attempt to ascertain his location or where he is going. I cannot think of any additional warnings to give y'all, but I would issue a general warning of please be careful.
understood. I was like,
Fair enough.
If there is nothing else,
No, not today.
all right.
I
Then.
suppose just thank you for the help.
Thank you for your help. We are glad to clear this from our ledger. It's like he stands up and holds the door for y'all.
Time to head back out.
All right.
Alright.
Walk, walk, walk.
Hallway is pretty much the same. You exit into the main area. There's 5 people staying in line. A few of them are holding packages. The one behind the desk either takes a package or talks to a person and either directs them to the left or the right door.
Okay. Do they look like the same packages our interviewee had, just for fun?
Make a perception check.
Let's see. I rolled a 19, so 21.
There were 5 people in line before you when you arrived here. 3 of them had packages. There are 5 people in line. 2 of them have packages.
Are any of them the same?
The same packages or the same people?
People.
No. I mean, a couple of them are human, and humans generally look similar to each other.
That's racist.
Specious.
But the packages, did they look similar to the ones that Darvos? Did those packages look
Davios?
like
No.
Davio? Yeah.
No, those were like brown paper wrapped up in twine. These are more like mailing boxes of sorts.
Okay, that's. But I note the other stuff mentally.
Okay. Alright, so it's about, let's see here, 5, y'all spent an hour, 15.
To head back.
So yeah, it's about 10-ish, 11-ish.
Head back to the base, get some lunch.
Yep. And if we have
Sounds really good.
time, I have a spell to prepare.
Ooh, I had something too. Faraday wanted eyes on the park. I was going to help with that.
So,
And they'll
Alright.
be walking back to the tram.
okay, so about 15-minute trip back to the tram, and then about a 15-minute walk from the tram, then a quick ride from the tram from one station to the other, and then a short walk back to the headquarters has y'all arriving just at the cusp of the lunch hour, which is from like 11 to 12. People are starting to like have food in the area out as they either go into the park across the street or are eating at the side on the side of the road or in one of the numbers eateries or food carts.
Well, if we were there at 10, we should be back before 11, right? I just wanted to make sure I'm back before the jewel courier.
Yeah, you're back before that.
Right.
You're getting at the cusp. It was 10 when y'all left. It's about like maybe
Okay.
15-minute walk from the tram station to there, and so 15 minutes, and then about another 5-10 minute ride, and then walking back to the headquarters and stuff like that. It's not an exact unit of measurement because sometimes you are walking a little faster, sometimes you're walking a little bit slower, sometimes you stop to take a look at something. Occasionally someone has to go to the restroom.
Okay.
Nonetheless, you were told to expect him 1 to 2 hours after the lunch hour, which would mean anywhere from 12 to 2.
Okay.
He gave you a window.
So what are you up to on your spellcasting, Rio?
So, I think that it's time that I call up a little helpmeet. I can't let you and Watcher be the only ones to have all the fun.
Oh! Do you get one like this too, like where they can talk to each other psychically all the time?
That I do not believe I can manage. As far as I know, anyway.
Well, it'll still be fun.
But yeah, so given that we've got a little bit of time, Rael is going to scrape together 10 gold worth of charcoal, incense, and herbs, and he's going to see about getting. Do we have a brass brazier?
You would know that Cathal definitely has a number of arcane implements.
Right. So let's see about borrowing that.
All right, Ingrid, what are you doing when you upon return?
I am spilling out the sack of birds and making some birds to help Faraday keep an eye on things.
Where are you spilling this sack out?
My office.
Okay.
But I let Cathal know first that there might be a jewel courier coming by.
Okay. Gregum, what are you up to upon arrival?
Arrival to where? It's like,
The office.
our office?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't really thought on it. It's like,
We'll come back to you
I
then.
guess he'll just, I guess he'll just sit around and meditate and
Okay.
try to think back on all the events that have happened so far. It's like,
Okay. Fairdeer, what are you doing? Other than cleaning up spilled coffee that is just slowly soaking into the stones of the floor in your room.
Cleaning up spilled coffee.
Okay.
Alright then.
From least complex to most complex, Grigum, please make me a wisdom check.
certainly. Look, double checking my wisdom score because it did go up. It's like, ooh, 17. It's like,
Okay. Is there any aspect or feature that you are meditating on specifically?
when you say aspect or feature, are we talking about like what my class and background give, or it's like,
In general, are you meditating on love, peace, and happiness, or the turning of
It's
the
more
cosmos?
it's more of a introspective, how like how far have I've come kind of thing, and as well as looking back on it's yeah, it's definitely a looking back on my memories kind of thing of just like everything that's happened, this and that connect together. It's like this and this and this. I'm not sure what's going on with that, and so on and so forth. And it's like,
Okay. As you enter this meditative state and you observe the history of you,
mhm.
you see how far you've come in 5 years. Well, it's been actually more than 5 years now. In 6, almost 7 years, you see your growth from just a guard in the vaults to where you are now as the leader of, or as a member of this organization, at the very least.
Founding member.
Founding
Yes.
member. But your history is impossible to untangle fully from Corral's. She's been a persistent factor in your life for years now, even at points in time when she's not
Missing. Yeah.
physically there. And as you're remembering and you're thinking over your growth, you remember aspects of goblinhood that you have dreamed of changing, of fixing or rewriting in some way, and ideas of how to do that. And you recall one of the more recent, if not faded, conversations you had with the figure that you eventually learned was Corral, on a night that you and your friends went to a tavern for drinks, and a passing comment she made about genetic damage. Wow, that
What
was
was
really
that?
well timed on the music.
Yeah.
What were you asking?
I was gonna say, and what was the actual comment? And it's like,
Do you want to hear a summarized transcript of your conversation with Carral, the director?
yes, please. And it's like,
If that's
I would love it.
allowable.
Go ahead.
Okay.
That saves
So-
me from having to do it.
So she looks you over. You think she's checking you out. I was just wondering about genetic damage. I specialize in genetics and malformative theory, or mutative theory, a method of introducing random changes in the body and seeing which ones kill the subject and which ones improve the subject. And you said it feels inefficient for it to be random. And she said there's a beauty in random. If you plan for everything, then what you don't plan for is able to overcome anything. It is best to experience something you do not expect, like coming here and meeting people you did not think you would meet, right? And you're like, the same could be said of being anywhere. This is what socializing is about. And then the director said, but sometimes you meet people that you have met before, but you are not expecting to meet. It is always random in some way. And then she said, nice to work with you again.
God damn.
Rewatching, summarizing.
Yes. It was like, please keep transcripts like that at all times for the next time we do memory checks like this, because boy howdy, that would make for a great, suddenly like sepia
I
tones
don't usually
flashback
put the
moment.
whole conversation. This one seemed important.
Yeah.
Well, remember what I've said. Everything is important. So that
I'm
said,
not going to transcribe
This is true.
everything.
Everything is permissible.
Yeah.
But trust no one.
that said, Ingrid, what does your ritual with the birds look like? Oh my god, we're going out for Chitchcock.
Okay, so one thing I have to ask, is it 5 birds per spell or per target that I would normally be able to target if it was a bigger creature?
Per spell, because otherwise it's ridiculous.
Okay. So she takes out her bag where she has poured salt to start preserving process like she used to when she was making the cloak. And she arranges 10 of the healthiest, most alive looking bird bodies around and puts them in a circle and throws her cloak over the circle and says some magic words, and then whoop, her cloak up and the birds fly up again. Kind of very magician-y trick.
As your cloak is thrown over the birds, you feel like a connection of energy run from your shoulders down your arms to your fingers to into the cloak, and the bird wings that are stitched to the back of it stand up and spread their wings as the cloak lands down. And then as you pull the cloak away, there's a snapping sensation as that energy tether breaks, and the 5 of them fly up into the air and start circling above you.
I was actually putting 10 in a circle because I'm going to do cast. I'm just going to use both my cast and then chill.
The second one will be exactly like that.
Okay.
But so you have 10.
First of all, no eating or attacking or pecking people.
Like the second you start to give them orders, the entire group of them flocks down onto a table and stares directly at you attentively.
You should listen to me, and you should listen to the people you meet in this building named Griggum, Rail, Fairdeer, or Opal. You should listen to people with this Golgari symbol. But your orders will be that you will go to the park across the street near where there's a big hole. Watcher here, who you will also listen to, who is Golgari, will give you impressions of the area, and you will take to trees. And if anyone approaches not wearing a pink and purple demi-cloak, the number of people that approach without a cloak is how many birds need to leave and go back to the office and sit on the roof. Okay? If you sat there for a whole day, you can go back to the park.
They quietly stare at you for a second until you stop talking, and then as like a single group, they start flying around the room until the door is opened.
Put my arm out for them to perch.
All 10 of them, like from shoulder to fingertip, land on your arm.
So I'm gonna go take y'all to the outside door, and then I'm gonna let y'all go to the park. No flying around this building in here on this trip, because we don't want to make people scared. And then Ingrid's gonna go walk up to the front door with her arm of birds.
Okay. You're not being subtle about this, I assume?
No, of course not. This is normal for Ingrid.
Fortunately, most of the the rest of your group is pretty busy, so it may not be noticed too much. As you open the door, all of them just take off and like follow the exact directions given to you. So, or you gave them, given by you. There we go. I got it out.
And then I'll let Cathal know to watch for birds on the roof. That means we may have had a park incursion.
You would find her in the study, retrieving, because you don't ritually cast that, and I don't think it takes an hour to cast. How long does it take to cast that?
A minute each.
Yeah, so you would find her in her study, pulling down a brass brazier and handing it over to Rail at this point.
Right.
At which point, let's go ahead and play this scene out. Rail, you had come to
Alright.
Cathal asking for a brazier. She had opened the door, gone in, and was sorting through stuff. About a few moments after that, Ingrid enters.
Ingrid, good to see you.
Hey, I just letting y'all know I put some eyes on the park at Fairdeer wanted it watched, so anyone coming in without the pink demi cloak, one of the zombie birds will go back and wait on the roof for y'all. So you know that there's someone that's if they enter the space and the people might be in danger, or bystander wanders in. So just letting you know, if you see any zombie birds on the roof, that means that our employees should probably be checked on.
Cathal kind of
Good to know.
stops what she's doing, holding this like medium brazier. It's like, I don't know how to respond to any of what you have just said.
They'll go back to the park in the morning.
Okay.
Do we need to
Okay.
feed them?
You're not there.
They're fine. They won't attack anyone.
Or
And
are
then
you there? Are you there, Fairdeer?
I think you
I
can.
guess if I've cleaned up the coffee by that time.
It's like you come to
Sure.
Cathal looking for some way to remove coffee from flagstones after 3 days.
No, let's have Fairdeer ask Cathal that.
Yeah, there we go.
Cathal looks at.
Do it, Fairdeer, in character.
Hey, Cathal, do we have any? Oh, no. Do we have anything that will clean off coffee and booze from Flagstone?
You ask this
That's been
as
on
you.
there for days.
You ask this as you come around just after hearing Ingrid say zombie birds roughly 3 or 4 times.
Ingrid, I can't help but notice that you mentioned zombie birds.
I did, and you mentioned my missing coffee.
Cathal gives Rail the brazier. She goes over
Thanks,
to
Cathal.
her.
I am not getting involved in
She
that.
goes over to another wall. She gets out what looks like a very rough-looking stone and a water skin. She hands it to Fairdeer. Out. All of you, out.
I'll just follow Fairdeer.
She closes the door behind you. There is a click.
Put that on our notes. Cathal kicked us out.
Of her personal study, yes.
Yes.
Do we need to
Whatever.
feed the birds?
Whatever we're paying her, she needs a raise.
Well, we don't necessarily need to feed them. They'll be fine. And I told them not to eat anyone. So that's always a plus. Anyway,
Oh, I'm sure.
fairly resilient, but you did want eyes on the park. So now if anyone without our demi capes comes, they'll move to the top of the building so we know how many people have intruded on the area. So we know if they need to send someone to look in on our employees or anything. It's the best I could do for eyes in the area. So,
Is that a thing you can do often?
I mean, they don't take many orders at once. They're birds. Are you sure if I get more birds? I have a few left in the bag, I think, but...
You know, it could have been worse.
Where did you get? I want to know
Rail
where you
helped
got
me with
those
the
birds.
contract. You remember the requisition from the for the birds they were burning?
Oh,
So
Now I do.
why do you have my coffee, fair dear?
why were you drinking coffee in my room?
I was not. Opal stole my coffee from me. Why do you have my coffee?
I was Opal drinking coffee in my room.
That I would like to know. So you're cleaning it up? Is it broken? Here, you
I
come
can't
with us.
solve this one for you.
You come with us, Rail, because if the coffee was still good, I was going to give a bottle to you and a bottle to Grigum.
Oh, sorry, I do have something I was about to do.
Oh, well, no, it can wait. It's just coffee.
I was going to ask if you wanted to assist. I've never summoned a familiar before.
Oh, yes. Can we stop by and see what Fairdear's talking about on the coffee thing real quick?
Sure.
I will have to leave if the jewel guy comes by, though.
Hey, Sekros. Welcome to the chat.
All right. All right, let's get through this.
All right, so
Do the thing.
Fairdear, what does your room look like?
Very Spartan, but there is the aquarium on like the back wall.
Yeah. Have you
With,
added
like,
anything
deep
to the?
sea-
I was about to say, have you added anything to the aquarium yet?
Probably just some simple fish.
All right. So you enter Fairdear's
Nothing
room.
exotic, but
There's like a aquarium that runs along one wall. It doesn't look super deep, but it's pretty wide, and just a small school of fish just kind of passively float through. They're actually pretty quite pretty and very serene looking as they kind of drift through the waves. On the table against one wall is a bottle. The bottle of coffee that you recognize from Coffee Bites. On the floor next to the table is another bottle that has cracked slightly from the impact, like it got dropped from a height and has been leaking coffee for 3 days now that someone has been pointedly ignoring.
So how did the coffee end up in your room? Did Opal give it to you?
no.
So did
I've just
she
been asleep. We've been
Did
pretty
she-
busy the last couple of days.
steal it from me and then break into your room to frame you? I'm a little concerned.
Make a
If this is her... Huh?
make a
Is
perception
that something?
check.
Okay.
Actually, Mr. I have a 19 passive, and Mr. I have a 20 passive. Y'all would know this, but I want to see if Ingrid
Yeah.
notices as well.
I have a 17. I don't think
17.
Watcher knows what to look for, though.
Fairdear has been pointedly ignoring the fact that the coffee is in his room, and that a large portion of the grouting of the stonework between his room and the next room over has been cleared away. But there is a very loose stone set into the wall between Fairdear and Opal's room.
Does
About
your
maybe
room need
that
maintenance,
big.
Fair dear?
Um,
What is with that?
I look over at Kay kind of sternly.
Kay is licking the
Did
coffee.
you do this?
Ingrid's gonna go
Can't
push on the
blame
stone.
Okay.
It falls into the next room over.
Watcher, could you give me a quick view of that room?
Watcher pokes his head in. It's Opal's room, which is it's easy to tell because at least 3 things in there have been burned.
You didn't dig this to spy on Opal, right?
Oh,
That's
I'm a little concerned
convincing.
now.
I mean, you didn't do that, right?
You know, we don't
Oh.
judge.
I need an insight on Fairdeer.
Make an insight check.
I got a 5.
That tells you exactly what you should take away from this conversation.
You're not spying on Opal, right?
Oh,
She's
she's
spying
spying
on
me.
you? Does Opal have a crush on you? I mean, I didn't mean to be like, don't touch Opal if she had a crush on you and it was consensual.
She's a little young.
There is a moment, like, as y'all are discussing, before the door to Opal's room opens, Mavana sticks
not
her
judging.
head in, looks side to side, and then closes the door.
In Opal's room?
Yeah.
I think.
About 30 seconds later, the door to Faraday's room opens. Mavana sticks it in. Ah, there you are. She closes the door and comes in and stands behind Rail.
I guess Opal doesn't
Oh my
lock her
gosh.
room. Huh.
Does Faraday lock his room?
I mean,
Probably
Ingrid
not.
locks her room.
Which is why he's really confused about why Opal would dig a hole to a room that's unlocked. But
Now,
maybe she
Freedom's
was
room
like,
is pointedly
"Oh."
unlocked. Isn't it?
Can I tell if the coffee's still good?
The coffee that has not been laying on the floor and dripping for a few days is probably fine-ish.
Here, Rail, we got you a coffee.
Oh dear.
And it's an alcoholic coffee.
Alcoholic
expects
coffee,
all.
say.
Mhm.
maybe she just wanted to see the fish?
You cannot see the aquarium from the wall.
I don't know.
That is a really nice aquarium, though, Fairdeer.
Thank you.
Do you usually go see fish a lot?
Occasionally.
I kind of miss, like, how much water was by the harbor. Like, we weren't really allowed to swim there, but I just kind of miss there was so much water, you know?
Yeah. I mean, my room's unlocked. If you want to watch the fish, that's fine.
Oh,
Preferably not when I'm sleeping. But
Ivana clears her throat. The door wasn't unlocked.
Opal's wasn't?
No, this one.
Oh,
The one I just came to. I'd had to open it.
are you good with that?
No, I have this key. And she pulls out this little key that has like a question mark as like the grip.
Huh.
It doesn't work on every door, but it works on a lot of doors.
It's kind of cool. I just have lockpick sets, but I'm not really trained in them. Usually, if you poke at things for long enough, though, they open up. That's been my experience.
Yes.
that was my door lock.
Most of these doors lock when you close them.
Oh.
Oh, so, familiar summoning.
Yeah.
Nirvana looks very confused. He's like, anyway, Priest Corvino, I just wanted to let you know I received a communique from High Priestess Corvino. You have been, well, you and your compatriots have been summoned to a meal at the end of the week.
Wonderful.
What happens if we're still in the Red Waste at that time?
Wait,
Cirsa and Cleafra and Gregor are all going to be there. I don't know who else, though. I can look into that. But anyway, yeah. And she kind of like, I will be in the room if you need me for anything, sir. And then she kind of opens the door and closes it behind her.
Good, a family dinner, just a little more extended than initially thought. What would be appropriate dress?
I haven't got to go to a party since the Farkeep one.
I would probably not wear the raven symbol if I were you.
I am wearing my breastplate to the next
Just-
party I go to. At least to the
might-
entryway.
You
At
might
least-
I
Please
would
talk
put like a
about it.
robe over it. It may be considered rude. Or would it? You would
It's-
know better, Rail.
It's something that we might want to speak with my mother about in private, Ingrid. Potentially.
I mean, I'm fine. I don't know what's up with you guys. I'm like,
Krigum's like, free booze? Sure.
Oh, dear.
it only makes me stronger.
Oh my god.
I guess we go to your office and we start the ritual, but if the jewel guy comes by, I'll have to step away for a moment.
It's just about like 12:30. You're not expecting for like another 30 minutes to an hour, and if someone does arrive, Cathal is there to let y'all know.
So, are you doing it at your office, or are we going to go Bastilla Mavana?
Wait. I think I lost the thread.
Your
Say that again?
your familiar summoning. Did you want to do it at your office, or are we going to go see Mavana at your room? Because she went to your room.
She said she would be in the room.
In the room, yeah, not
Oh,
not
okay.
Rail's room.
Okay.
I
I assumed she meant Rail's room.
confused. I'm like, wait, what?
Well, you don't know what the room is.
That's true.
So, Rail, you may want to order her a bed.
We're working on that. Thank you so much. We're working on it.
At least.
I
I mean, Kay's got better sleeping arrangements than yours.
let me deal with Mavana. Right.
Okay.
All right. So, yes, I'm summoning a freaking familiar.
Where are you going to do this ritual? Because it's like an hour and 10 minutes to get. Oh, wait, you can't do it ritually. Where are you
I
going
can't
to
do it as a
summon this?
ritual.
Because it's an hour-long cast. And
Right.
if you're interrupted, then you have to start over.
But only if you're interrupted, I can leave because I'm just there for advice. I think. Right?
Sure.
Okay.
You gonna state this? Because I think Faradir is going to watch this.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, you
Pro-
were there when he was.
Do it in the public square. Have everyone come in and see the forbidden secrets of the ancients.
Wait, that sounded like sarcasm.
Yes. Yes, it did. It's one of
It's
my
like-
many talents.
And somewhere off in the office, Gregum is sitting cross-legged, meditating and periodically taking a shot of liquor.
Yeah, well,
I
I'm
love
pretty
my
sure
part-
Greg can
I love
just
my
taste the
partner.
sarcasm in the air.
And
Oh,
Faradir
sure.
has a cracked bottle he's cleaning up on his floor. Unless he
Okay.
follows along and still doesn't clean it up.
Kay has been licking at that puddle for like a day now.
All right.
To
Let's.
be fair to Faradir, basically when we ever got home, we were exhausted and he just went to bed and went asleep, didn't even turn on the lights or anything.
And then the next morning, and then the
True,
next
and
night,
yet
and then the next
still.
morning.
So, Rail, where are you going to do this?
So, let's do it in. Do we have a library kind of
You
thing?
have
set up?
a 10-foot by 20-foot library. That's where you saw
Let's
Pan
do it in
go
the
to.
library.
I can pull up the map again if y'all need.
All right. Yeah, because I have the old map in my head, not the new map.
Roll 20 map. Yeah, I believe it was left to the door. But I don't know how stocked it is. We actually haven't investigated it yet. So this will be a good time to get a library description.
Okay, so
Oh,
this
wow,
is the
it's
front
bigger
is
than I
the main
remember.
door, right?
Yep.
Right, that's the front door. This is the main room where we've been.
That's where y'all. That's your meeting. And this is
This
the.
is the meeting. Okay.
This is the meeting room, in the center here, with the tables and the chairs. There is an armory here. The stairs on either side descend to the lower levels, where y'all have your offices, your personal rooms, your subtram station, and a research lab or two.
Yes.
And the stairs in the middle?
The stairs in the middle go up to the roof.
Okay.
There are a number of holding cells along the back wall.
What's the weather like today?
Are you using
Underground?
Druidcraft or?
Dark.
I do not have Druid.
Oh,
I'm just asking,
all right.
is it currently raining out?
It's gray. It looks like it's getting close to raining, but it's probably you're probably a day or two off from it just being a downpour.
All right. Yeah, I was considering asking if I could swap out one or two of my cantrips when we leveled up, but I had decided against it.
Okay.
It would be nice if I could have gotten Druidcraft back, but whatever. All right. So
You could make a pact with something
Yes,
and then take a
let's-
tome.
oh my god, this is definitely a possibility, but
No one-
I know someone.
Yeah, I know someone too. You could definitely get a celestial pact going.
Oh.
Okay, but that would eat up. How would that work mechanically? Like that's
You need to get your
cost-
9 levels of cleric so you can raise us from the dead first, I think.
Yes, from here on out, I was planning on going cleric all the way.
I mean, you would just have to find a celestial being willing to share its power with you in exchange for favors. And then take a
Okay,
level
but how
of
does
warlock.
that work mechanically? I'll take a level of warlock.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Or
I have
I
multi-class.
guess you could
multi-class, I've
train.
got a multi-class.
Oh. You could train Magic Initiate Warlock, but that wouldn't give you the tome.
Yes, but I have other plans with that. That is all right.
Just
The
giving you
library?
options.
A roof.
I want to paralyze you with
Roof.
options. Okay.
Roof, roof.
Alright, so you go up on the roof, and the immediate thing you notice is that there are 10 blackbirds nesting on crenulations around there because someone sent undead birds to a public access park.
I said if they go to the hatch.
Yeah, y'all covered it back up, right?
Yeah, but Watcher sent them pictures of where it was at.
Yes, but you told them to come back if anyone came into the area that wasn't you or worked with y'all.
Okay, fine. Well, this didn't work yet. I've got to reprogram the birds when you're done.
All 10
right.
of them turn to look simultaneously at Ingrid as she enters the area. Like, with the same expression that Mavana looks at Rael, almost.
Okay, one moment. The same orders except for it's if they go down the hole of the hatch, then you come back.
There's a heartbeat of a second, and all 10 of them simultaneously fly off in the same direction.
Over time, I need to give them some stealthier instructions. But this is good for now.
Well, good to see that Gago is still in play here. Garbage in, garbage out.
Yep.
Am I allowed to use them like clay pigeons?
No. I mean, granted,
They're already dead!
like, granted, that's an awesome idea. Add a character. In character, no.
I mean,
Did we only make the weapons training area 35 feet? How am I supposed to practice
Poor
my
people.
shots?
Pool.
all right.
So, now that you are on the
It's
roof,
same as before.
you notice the roof has crenulations around the edges. There is a small kind of almost blind-like thing set up and one back corner of it with a open roof. You get the idea that this is Cathal's little quote-unquote vantage shooting point. I don't know if I've gone over it with y'all. Have I told you about the effect of her magic item? I know I've told Zizva about it.
I don't believe you've
I think
told
it
me
was
about
something
it.
like it extends the range
Okay.
like ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, no, here.
No.
While
All I know is that she can just disguise herself as whatever. It's like,
Cathal. Okay, so no, I'm talking about
Right.
Cathal and her little
not-
shooting pose. Cathal's magic item, the rifle that y'all have seen her carrying around like basically everywhere. If she casts and is concentrating on the scrying spell, which allows her to see anywhere or with that she is familiar with up to a mile away. As long as there is a open pathway between where she currently is and the area that she is scrying on, she can make a ranged spell attack against a figure that she can see in that area.
Sheesh. Talk about sniper. Alright.
Baby bird, the hand of God. We need some backup here.
Yeah, so she's
It'll be a
effectively
regular
a walking orbital cannon.
Documents your thing.
She is effectively a walking orbital cannon.
If you can get her, if y'all are within a mile of the place that she is, and you can get in contact with her, you can call in a strike against the target. Yes.
Sheesh. Alright.
All right. So, all distractions aside, Rail,
Yes.
you're summoning.
I am summoning.
We will do
I am
that next
setting up
week. No, I'm kidding. No.
No.
But it should be the last thing for
That
this
Dragon Ball Z ending.
Oh, God. Yes.
Yeah, we'll do the gym next week. You gotta get until you're done.
Alright, so Rail
Will
sets
Goku
up
stop
the
screaming?
brazier.
Will freeze his eyebrows twitch. Like,
I know.
I will fight you. I will fight you next time on Dragon Ball
Oh,
Z.
God.
okay,
So-
moving on.
Rail sets up the brazier. Alright. He sets up all of the little bits and bobs of incense and vaguely magical what have you.
And bits and bobs.
Herbs, spices. Yes.
Let the
Charcoal,
spice
incense,
flow.
and herbs.
Did Faraday come with us?
I assume so.
He snaps his fingers, and a spark of flame springs into existence above them, which then drops in, lighting it on fire with a sickly greenish yellow flame. He sits cross-legged in front of the brazier and concentrates and starts murmuring to himself with his eyes closed. And there's a sense that he's calling out to something that you all can't see. There's a sense that something is looking at you from a direction that you can't elucidate. It's not up or down or left or right or forward or back. It's some other direction entirely, and it's coming closer. And the sense of pressure and the sense of being watched mounts as he sways back and forth, as the flames flicker and burn, as he continues chanting what seems to be but are never quite understandable as words. And he keeps this up for an hour, and the air stills, and the sense of pressure gets to the point where it's almost painful. And then after an hour, like a thread drawn too tight, there's a snap that you can hear. And a new familiar takes form. And GM, I wasn't sure how much I can just kind of say what it is, how much you want to control that.
All right. So as the smoke gathers in the air and the wind blows from above and stirs together with the smoke and the chanting, a solid black form starts to coalesce out of this mingling of fire and air energy.
To be continued. No.
A sleek black form emerges from this gathering of energy, circling once before landing at the rim of the brazier, seeming unconcerned with the fire. 3 glittering black eyes look over every person in the area before making direct eye contact with Rail. Rail, you have to tell the bird a secret to bind it to you.
A secret. He's going to lean in and whisper something that the other players aren't going to get to hear.
Awesome.
No,
Great.
that would be bad. That would be bad.
Yeah, especially since remember I can read lips.
Yeah, oh wow, that too. What he's going to whisper is, when he joined the Simic, when he left the Orzhov, he did truly love being a Simic researcher. But he didn't leave because he didn't want to be an Orzhov priest. He left because it was part of a plan. And that's all he's going to say.
And that'll be enough. Is this a fae, a fiend, or a celestial spirit?
I didn't realize I get to choose that.
Generally you
I'm going
don't,
to
but I'm going to let you.
Alright, I'm going to say it is a celestial spirit. Well, I don't know. Keith might have been playing a lot of Bloodborne lately.
You are Orzhov, so that would.
Yeah, celestial does not necessarily mean holy or good. There are evil gods.
But yes, celestial raven.
Okay.
It
And
appears as a raven, right?
it is a 3-eyed raven. It has 2 feathers on its wing, on either wing, that has a gold gilt edge to him. But beyond that, it's just coal black. And
Bird here, absent-mindedly, is probably going to come up and give the raven scritches on the back.
it does not seem to move away, but it doesn't push into it. It just kind of turns and looks questioning at Rail. Have you named it?
I think I'm going to name it Hermes.
Hermes. Okay. Hermes looks up at Rail waiting for instructions on how to act.
These are my, let's say, friends.
Is this telepathic or out loud?
I forgot he can communicate with it telepathically.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to say it out loud.
Okay.
They are good folks. But don't get too close to, well, the goblin's not here. Don't get too close to the goblin when he's been drinking.
Don't get too close to the goblin.
There,
Needed.
Ingrid, Faradir, and Well, Watcher's there too, right?
Yep.
Okay, and Watcher. We are going to do wonderful things.
Hermes kind of pecks lightly at Faradir's hand to move it away from its back. Not to hurt him or anything, but just move your hand, please. Before it then flutters up to land on Rail's shoulder.
Alright. Rail is going to give it a little bit of meat, because he always keeps treats on him. Alright.
You're on mute.
You're on mute, Ziz.
Can Watcher talk to it if he wants to?
Are you asking me or are you asking Rail?
Real.
I'm sure. Hermes, do you mind?
I can't do a bird sound, sorry. Wait, hold on. Nope. Nope, can't do a bird sound. Sorry. Thank you.
Close to the first time, I think.
I know. I'll
Yeah,
watch
ravens croak
videos on
anyway.
it. I'll watch videos on how
Keep
to
in
sound like
mind,
a
Raven.
crow. Or Raven.
Keep in mind, ravens also know mimicry.
Yes, which is ridiculous. Anything he has heard, he can mimic. I believe is what it says.
He can mimic simple sounds it has heard. A person whispering, a baby crying, or an animal chittering. It takes a DC 10 insight check to tell that they're fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've told you in the past, if I ever get the chance to play a Kenku Arcane Trickster, he is going to have a Raven familiar, and they're going to just copy everything.
Campaign 2.
Time for a snack and a short
Welcome
break
to-
downstairs, and maybe your familiar can meet Griggum.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call this game right after y'all hear a faint knocking from down below. And then we call the game.
All right.
So,
To be continued. Roundabout plays.
one more DBZ joke, please, someone. Let's see here.
Yeah, I was going for the JoJo joke, but you know.
Oh, that works too. Okay, let's see here. Meryl, do the line.
Alright. Please, do what a polite werewolf would do. And subscribe.
For your moment of zen. It's like, as soon as I have the right page, it's like. No. Okay. Everyone wants your happiness. Don't let them take it.
Damn, that's a little dark. All right, so thank y'all for joining us for today's
I was going for kind of Billy and Mandy on that one, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode of the Second Sight Agency campaign. If you liked us, please follow us or subscribe on Twitch. If you're watching this later on YouTube, when I finally managed to catch up, please like, comment, subscribe. We are aiming for 100 subscribers so we can get a custom URL so I can replace the tiny URL with a actual YouTube channel link.
That would be cool.
We are
That'd be very cool.
very thankful to Sirenscape for providing music for this system. I know that it's been kind of the same music on and on, but I kind of like this music. Sekros, thank you for the follow. Mhm.
It's very calm.
Yeah, I do like calm music. I don't listen to a lot of calm music, but when I do, I like it. As an additional reminder, we will be having our Patreon go live at the end of the month. I don't have an exact date, time, or link just yet, but I'm working on that this upcoming week. And we are also doing some base design work on a web page, though that's going to be a little farther along, I think. Follow us on Twitter at Bonus Roll for updates on both as we work on both projects, as well as me and everyone else's schedule for maybe, I don't know what to call it. What do y'all want to call our Friday sit down, talk about stuff that's going on and just chatting? Do y'all have any ideas? Bonus content?
Bonus content?
Maybe?
I mean, you hate every name I come up with, so.
I mean, sure.
Wow, that was like 2-point upgrade on it.
We can workshop it.
So, an assignment to anyone who is in the bonus roll grouping that I have created from you. You got a week. Think about stuff you want to talk about on Friday.
Hell yeah. And we might. I know we were talking about Jackbox games and such for that kind of thing.
Yeah, we haven't gotten that set up yet. But I mean, at the
Okay.
very first, we can very much have a just chatting stream of consciousness thing.
Hell yeah. I'm good at that, especially when there's caffeine in it.
And that's mandatory, right?
I advocate for consumption of. Oh, I like that bonus cast. What do y'all think, bonus cast?
I like it.
Bonus cast? Thumbs
I mean,
up
you
if
want
you're
to
okay
get
with
really
it.
silly, we could always do bonus action.
I mean, bonus action makes me think of something else. We may use that later, but I like bonus cast. I'll start working on
I like it.
overlay. I will check to see who's free for this upcoming Friday and schedule it and pass the information along to the Twitterverse.
Alright.
Oh, I appreciate it if you make a custom logo for us, Cookie. Thank you. Alright, I'm going to go take a nap before the people get here for the Tomb of Annihilation game tonight.
Which may not be Cookie. I was still looking at her message, but we'll talk about that in a sec.
We'll figure that out. We'll see who dies, who lives, who laughs. It'll be me in all cases. Okay. I'm going to shut this. I'm going to put us on in show another credit thing, another commercial thing where we'll. Sorry for all the commercials and stuff, but yeah. Join us next week, roughly the same time for this, as Hermes gets to meet the rest of the crew, and there is a tense negotiation with a person carrying a gem that Ingrid wants. Oh, and zombie birds are going to be showing up frequently. So, welcome to our new game. It's basically Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds.
As long as it's not birdemic.
Debate, you're muted, I think. I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I accidentally hit the just friggin' button thing here. It's like, but yeah, and I said, who knows? We may even actually get to our mission this time.
I mean, y'all got a
And
lot
not
of
argue
missions.
about the underground. Yeah. Our big problem is we keep arguing about the underground, the lab.
Well, I'm looking
hopefully we'll
forward
get
to this.
some definitive answers about what's in there. I mean, trading in the favor. So.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
like that was y'all bought a big help for that. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
this
no.
is going to be interesting because
This was something we could not half measure. I'm sorry. It's like,
yeah, no, there's
in
like,
character.
Yeah, this
I'm-
is.
I'm glad we're not just using it for like, oh, we screwed up one personal thing and now we're doing it. Like, I'm glad we're using it for something more global.
Hey, can you make sure that the
Quote, unquote,
Orzhov don't
global.
murder us because somebody sent a dragon to destroy one of their churches?
Which
Yeah, we didn't need it for that, though. I mean,
Yeah.
We handled that ourselves pretty well.
Yep. Rail just had to go back
Or
home.
God, the Rakdos are angry at me for performing.
oh no, that
I
was
handled that.
minor.
Like, I handled that pretty damn well.
I have
I
no
don't know
memory
how
of
you
my
handled
past.
it,
A
but I
mysterious
assume
figure
that
has
was
been
good.
following me, and I may or may not be a genetic clone of a dead god.
Boy,
Well,
we're getting all kinds of Baldur's
And
Gate
I
up
mean,
in here.
Ingrid had her own things she would have wanted a favor for, but they wouldn't have been group things. So
I am Baharspan. No, I'm kidding.
oh dear.
But yeah, that's an old game reference. Okay.
All right,
And
we're going
Bahal's
to
back
go.
again. So who gives a
Thank you,
fuck?
everyone, for joining us again. Holy shit, we just can't keep. We're like 15 minutes over. We just can't keep from falling into these discussion things. I'm 100%
Yeah, no.
sure when we do this on Friday, it's just we're going to be sitting here staring at each other quietly.
No, I would not take that bet.
Remember, you are what you eat, which means I can be you overnight.
Yeah.
And with that, we leave. Goodbye and thank you all. See you next week or on
Goodbye.
Friday. I
Good
don't
night,
know.
folks.
Life, liberty,
Stay
chaos.
safe.
Seriously though, stay safe, socially distance, watch stuff on YouTube, binge, avoid large groups, don't touch your face, wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
It's a good time to catch up on, for example, the
plenty of
Overly
life
Sarcastic
lessons.
Productions YouTube channel, which is just fantastic, full of stuff about mythology. I'm not biased at all. It's not one of my favorite channels or anything.
All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye.